We build on topics, whether conscious or cosmic. It's never nonsense, mega levels are microscopic. It's a Killah Priest project, AD controlling rocket. Before we land the plane, many things we engage and explain. The unexplained, without mask. Welcome to the Killah Priest podcast. Killah Priest podcast.
Yeah. Mic check, mic check. What's good? Yo, welcome back. We are running a late show today. A lot of good things popping off. Let me check the sound effects. Yep, sound effects are rocking. AD Ross holding it down temporarily right now. We've got Priest literally on a plane on his way back to LA, coming straight from Mexico. So Priest is in the skies, you know what I mean? But he's going to be joining us possibly every now and then into the Zoom. He's got the Zoom. Let me make sure that it's authorized here. All set for that. Let's see, enable, boom. So what's happening, y'all? People are popping in. Man, so thanks for sticking with us, yo. We didn't do a show yesterday. Lots of upgrades. You can see I got a different camera angle. You're going to see a whole different camera angle next Sunday, yo. You're going to see a whole different desk. You're going to see a whole different setup for the podcast. We're going back to the Tonight Show setup. If y'all remember, it's very similar to what we used to have back when we had Selena the stripper on back in the day. So anyway, today we are blessed with a great guest of none other than the one and only master student, CrumbTV in the building. You know what I'm saying? Always a treat to have him here. I see people coming up into the chat. I'm gonna try to get the chat on screen. Matter of fact, let's see. So y'all gonna be seeing all kinds of adjustments as always. Everybody who knows this show knows I'm always be tinkering with stuff live. You know what I'm saying? Master student, how you doing?
Peace and love. All is truly well. Thank you. And yourself?
I'm very good, man. I'm just looking forward to this new year. Looking forward to all of these new adjustments and changes that I'm always doing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Change is the only thing that is inevitable.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So what's going on? What's new?
Oh man. Seems like another day, another turn of events. But we are in Black History Month. That is a true statement.
Mm.
So I wanted to celebrate by digging in to some Black history, and I wanted to hone in on none other than Bobby Womack.
Okay. Nice. You already got a whole presentation ready, huh?
Unfortunately, it's not my best work, but I will say this. KP reached out to me. He sent me a clip, and it was Bobby Womack. Unfortunately, we know Bobby Womack's greatest song was, one of his greatest songs. If you think you're lonely now, and you probably know him from that song.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of his bigger hits.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that Priest sent to me was a little more infamous. Let me see if I can. Not that. I don't know if you can hear that.
Giving the shirt off my back. We know you can trust me with his life.
You can trust me with his life.
This time he leaves me alone. Leaves me alone with his wife.
He leaves me alone with his wife. I wish he didn't trust me so much.
Oh, wow.
So Priest sent that to me.
That is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely, to say the least. And I replied to Priest. This is all via text. And I had the oh my God emoji. He says, he says, it was real. You gotta go in. I replied, I totally agree. I got more tea to sip as well.
Mm.
Uh, that's how I got here today. Um, and I have to admit, I was wrong, brother. I made a video
Okay.
called F Bobby Hemmett.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, Bobby Womack. Excuse me. Please forgive me.
I was like, damn, Bobby Hammett.
Yeah, not Bobby Hemmett. F Bobby Womack, and it was a scathing review.
Hmm.
It was a scathing review, and though most people kind of went with the flow, there was a couple people who stood up against me, and they was like, "Hey, listen, you kind of got the story of Bobby wrong."
Oh
And
wow.
I refused to believe that until I read the whole book. So
Mm.
Bobby Womack, I keep wanting to say him. Bobby Womack wrote a book called Midnight Mover.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull that up. Midnight Mover. Bobby Womack. There we go. Yeah, well, actually, he had a song as well. I'm sorry, an album, excuse me, called Midnight Mover. But he also wrote his autobiography, Midnight Mover. And let me say this: someone,
Yeah, just want to say salute.
Hey, there he is, Peace Priest. Damn, I can hear the whole call center over there.
I just want to personally say salute.
That's what's up. Peace, Priest.
peace to the God Almighty.
Yo,
Yo, yo. That's what's good. How are you? Up. There we go. See, he's in the middle of the airport. Yes.
Yeah.
Let me hit allow. Oh, I'm glad Zoom does that. I like this new and improved Zoom. Okay, so you do have the ability to share. And
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna do a stop share on my side. Okay. And let me get it set up. Let's see, actually, will it share to this screen? I think it will, huh? Are you sharing yet?
Yes, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. No, sir.
Okay.
Sure. There we go.
There we go. There we go. Okay, now, hold on. I bought a huge widescreen curved thing. So instead of having 3 screens, I'm on this one big curve.
Oh, that's deep.
Oh, I like it, man. Okay, just give me a second. Boom. Okay. Got you on screen, and you can proceed in about 2 seconds here. And go right ahead.
All right, so here we are with Bobby Womack. His album, which was also the name of his book, Midnight Mover.
Mm-hmm.
I read the book. Now, I'm not saying Bobby wrote this book himself. I don't know. But I will say this. That book was beautifully written. It's only 200 pages.
Mm.
It's only 200 pages. Let's say it's like 175. So not many, it's not a lot of words, not a lot of chapters, but the way this book was written, it was an easy read. It was I almost read the whole book in a day because it was just such a great book. So now, just going into his story, Bobby starts out by way of his father. His father's name is Friendly.
Mm.
Right. And let me go here real quick. Bobby is a Pisces.
Hey, me too.
And he goes hard on the Pisces thing, and I'm a little bit surprised. Like several times in the book, he's like, "Yeah, because I'm a Pisces, and I came across so and so, and he's a Pisces. Here it is."
Yeah,
I'm sorry?
when us Pisces get into astrology, it can overwhelm us and show us like, wow, you know what I mean? We're the 12th sign. Damn, this is crazy. We really get into it.
And I was surprised because I just assumed people back in those days didn't tap
Mm-hmm.
into that type of stuff, but clearly I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Bobby was in that time where they did different stuff in terms of recreational drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So, the question, this is from Times of India. Do you have these addictions? Maybe that's in your zodiac sign. Question: are Pisces more likely to be addicts? Answer: Pisceans are empathetic and imaginative.
Mm-hmm.
And Bobby said a part of one of his best attributes was his imagination, and that's what allowed him to be so successful, especially on the fly. Moving forward,
Mm-hmm.
they may be prone to addictive behaviors as a way to escape reality or cope with their deep emotions, such as substance abuse, fantasy worlds, or even spiritual pursuits taken to extremes.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
So I was very caught off guard when he really kind of hammered I'm not going to say hammered it, but he mentioned it more than two times.
Mm-hmm.
The Pisces thing wasn't like he just said it one time, and he mentioned like maybe two or three times in the book. Um, and I think it was Jimi Hendrix. Let me see. What is Jimi Hendrix zodiac sign?
Yo, I forgot.
Dagnap, that's
Hold
not
up.
Jimmy. It's somebody else. Jimmy's a Sag. It was somebody
Kurt,
else, and
Kurt
then
Cobain.
Kurt Cobain. Oh my God, he's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
Oh, Jimi Hendrix was a Sagittarius.
he's a Sag. Yes, sorry. Please forgive
Yeah.
me. But yes, Kurt Cobain was a Pisces as well.
Yeah.
And super creative, but one of the Achilles heels is that comes with maybe addiction, but that's
Yeah.
to be determined. That's not in all cases, obviously.
I mean, man, I just got off my coffee addiction.
Well, and I'm so glad you said that, because I was going to say, when I say addictions, I don't want you to think just drugs.
Mm,
Even, I mean, caffeine isn't as a drug, but I don't want you to think just hard drugs. You can be addicted to anything. So thank you
true.
so much for adding value.
True.
Um, so the whole thing with Bobby Womack is not his career, is that he married his mentor's wife, and he had SEG with his wife's daughter and his mentor's daughter, and his daughter-in-law, his stepdaughter.
Damn.
So it sounds crazy. Don't get me wrong, and I'm gonna go into it, but I want to point out that he wasn't the only one. So Bobby had four brothers, maybe
Mm-hmm.
three, but I think it was like four. So his brother Cecil was messing around with Mary Wells, who's a famous American singer, um, while Mary was married to his brother Curtis. So you got Cecil Womack. This is the brother of Bobby, because Bobby's sitting here messing with his mentor's wife, and Cecil messing with his brother's wife. So it's kind of like you're going to see this thing happen more often than not. Um, his
Damn.
other brother, so that's Cecil and Curtis.
Scandalous.
He has another brother named
Mm-hmm.
Harry. Harry's girlfriend unalived him.
Oh,
So
damn.
Harry unalived by his girlfriend. Cecil messed with his brother's wife. Bobby messing with his mentor's wife and his mentor's daughter. But where have we heard this story before? If you said the Jackson Five, then you're right. Brother, uh, are you familiar with the whole brothers messing with brothers, girlfriends, and wives situation in the Jackson Five? Are you familiar with that story?
I'm not familiar, man. But go ahead, please enlighten.
So, in my best Kamala voice, let's be clear. Okay? So, nobody knows, really don't nobody know who Bobby Womack is, let alone his brothers.
Mm.
Don't nobody know who Michael Jackson brothers are. I don't know. You don't know. The mama don't even know. I'm being funny.
Mm.
But no, seriously. So it was two Michael Jackson's brothers. One brother get with this girl, which is the one you see in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of Michael Jackson's other brothers, like the oldest brother, he get with the girl. Now, when I say get with, I mean get pregnant.
Oh, damn.
So Michael Jackson got two nephews that are cousins, first cousins, and brothers. Michael Jackson has nephews that are first cousins and brothers. Never forget that. So I don't want everybody to go judging Bobby because it was happening. It was going down. There was no DM back then, but it was still going down. I digress. Bobby Womack was under the tutelage of Sam Cooke. I need the family to understand why Bobby Womack is special. Bobby Womack is special because he's under Sam Cooke, and Sam Cooke this is Black History Month, family. Happy Black History Month. Sam Cooke was one of the first Black artists to own his own masters. This is the 1950s. This is not a common thing. He did this by establishing his own record label and publishing company, which were unheard of. You got big rap stars now who don't own their own masters, record label, or publishing.
True.
In 2025, let alone in the 1950s. So now you got the guy under Sam who's supposed to be like 50 Cent's Tony Yayo, or maybe Notorious B.I.G.'s Little C's, or, the sidekick who's supposed to have his coming of age moment, but never does. So now Sam is a big deal back then. Now, I did this PowerPoint, and I already did this one on the Killah Priest podcast. It was called The Curse of Gospel. And what you're going to see is a transition from so-called gospel music over to secular music. So it's kind of a religious thing. There's a religious undertone, whether that be backsliding or whatever the case may be. And you're going to see a lot of, I call them juicies. You're going to see a lot of juicies within this backsliding movement away from Christianity, because you have to remember the juicies don't believe in Jesus. That's a fact. In addition to that, the juicies, they believe in sacrifice.
Oh, wow.
Go back to the story of Cain and Abel. Remember, God drank blood. God is a vampire. God don't want no damn grapefruit juice. God don't want no rutabagas, Brussels sprouts, and avocado. God want bloody meat. That's why Abel was favored. That's why Cain was a vegan. Abel was a carnivore. God told you, how do you remember God? If you don't eat the dead body of your God, then you ain't a believer. If you don't drink the blood of your dead God, then you're not a real believer. Cain wasn't into all of that. Cain was a vegan. So we have to understand the first 5 books of the Bible, that's Jewish. It's called a Torah, written by Moses. So now the very first book tells you ain't nothing more important than sacrifice. You have to have a sacrifice. And you can't have no goofy sacrifice. You got to give the best. When you sacrifice, it has to be the best. Sam Cooke was the best. They sacrificed that man.
Oh, damn.
But allegedly.
These nuts.
I hit the wrong button. I literally dropped my thing here. I'm sorry. That was not.
Good.
I was not meant to hit that button. My bad.
But it was still kind of funny with it.
Of all
It
the
was still
buttons,
funny.
of all the buttons to hit on accident, I'm sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
So so Sam, he's he's famous because he's a backslider. Um, Now, that might be a old down south black term. Brother, are you familiar with the term backslider?
No.
Do you mind if we poll the listening or canvas the listening audience?
What do you mean, like ask them in the chat room?
Yeah,
Yeah.
chat, press 000 if you are familiar with the term backslider. I want to see how many of y'all grew up in church. Press 000 if you are familiar with the term backslider.
See, when you say
Back.
backslide, I'm thinking of like a dance. And then when you say
Um,
slider, I'm thinking of a small burger.
you're so funny. You are a comedian.
I mean, it's true.
Uh,
But
uh,
backslider, I've never heard those two words together.
okay. I'm gonna see, can I, because I can't see the live. Let me see
Yeah,
the audience
a
if we
lot of
got.
people already know. Damn.
Okay, yeah. I thought so. I'm looking at the comments now. Okay,
Wow.
so yeah, a good bit of people already know what a backslider is. So a lot of us grew up in church. And that was a word from when we was in church. A backslider is somebody who walks away from Christ. So now, you know, you all sanctified on Sunday, but Monday you go to gambling. Oh, there he go, brother Tony backslide.
Oh, I see.
A backslider. So that's, that was the kind of the what we would, some of the terminology from the southern churches. I don't even know if northern churches would even say something like that. But if you in the South and one of these Southern Baptist churches, you definitely, hear that a lot. But nonetheless, so Sam Cooke got famous because he was a backslider.
Hmm.
He came in through the church, and a lot of famous people came in through the church choir. Um, and that's what I pointed out in the original video that I did on um Killah Priest podcast. Ray Charles came in through the church. Sam Cooke came in through the church. Whitney Houston came in through the church.
Oh,
Marvin
wow.
Gaye, Tammy Terrell,
Hmm.
The Temptations, Al Green, Donny Hathaway, Big Mama Thornton, Billie Holiday,
Wow.
Curtis Mayfield, all of these artists, Whitney Houston, Otis Redding, all of these artists came in through the church.
Hmm.
So the very first person to come in through the church and just tectonic waves was going to be Sam Cooke. He was the first famous backslider. First
Wow.
famous backslider. Not well, not famous, but first mega famous, mega star backslider. So now, after he backslides, he meets up with Bobby Womack's daddy. Where do they meet up at? You got it, the church. So they meet up in the church, and he's pulling people out of the church. Come from out of that church. Ain't no money in that church. So Friendly, which is Bobby Womack's daddy, he has this illusions of grandeur where he's going to have sons, and his sons are going to be famous gospel singers. So he raises them to be singers, raises them with guitars and all types of stuff. Super interesting story in the book of how he got his first guitar.
Hmm.
Super interesting. However, they won't make it no money. And then they saw Sam, and Sam was like, if you turn your back on God, you're going to get a good bit of money. And of course, he didn't say it like that,
Hmm.
but hindsight is 2020, and that was kind of the conscious struggle that Bobby was dealing with to say, hey, I love God, and whatever the case may be, and I'm trying to be successful in my own right, and I'm having options balancing I'm having trouble balancing the two. And ultimately we know which side Bobby chose. And when he chose to go with Sam, his father cut him off. His mama and them, his brothers still dealt with him, but his father was like, you're not going to do nothing with the devil's music and then come over to my house.
Mm.
Um, so Bobby's on his own, and he gets with Sam after his daddy turned his back on him. Sam put him up with James Brown. James Brown, this is when they're the Valentinos, the group. James Brown gets the Valentinos and kind of whips them into shape, gives them back to Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke, James Brown was jealous of Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke, James Brown. So James Brown was jealous of Sam Cooke. James Brown said Sam Cooke was taller than he was. James Brown said Sam Cooke looked better than he did. And James Brown acknowledged the reason Sam Cooke was better than James Brown is not because Sam Cooke was better than James Brown. And both of them knew this. James Brown and Sam Cooke both agreed the only reason Sam Cooke is better is because Sam Cooke appealed to white people, and James Brown wasn't trying to do all of that. James Brown was with the I'm black and I'm proud, and there was a lot of political jive and, whatever the case may be. Sam Cooke wasn't with no political music. He was trying to make music, and that was pretty much it. He wasn't trying to deliver no message or no jive like that, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
now Sam Cooke does his thing. He gets killed because he's chasing women. And while he's chasing women, his wife is super frustrated with him. And please, what are you going to say?
Nothing. I'm just listening.
Okay. So I read the book. You could say Bobby's the bad guy. No, I'm sorry, excuse me. Bobby's not the bad guy. You could say Sam is the bad guy. You could, but I'm not going to blame Sam. When I did that video called F Bobby Womack, I painted Barbara to be the innocent victim.
Mm.
But Barbara was not the innocent victim. Barbara was the bad guy. But Barbara had her reasons. But let's go into Barbara so we can understand why Bobby married her. It says Bobby and Barbara, Bobby Womack and Barbara, Sam's widow, had a son named after Barbara and Sam's son. So Sam Cooke, let me pull up a picture. Sam Cooke and Barbara Cooke. Images. Sam Cooke and Barbara Cooke had I'm sorry. I put Sam. Why did it pull up Bobby? There we go. Sam Cooke and Barbara Cooke had a baby, a little boy named Vincent. And Sam told Barbara, I'm so rich, I'm going to pay you to have 3 maids. So this whole picture where Barbara got on her apron and she's cooking, this is all for the camera.
Mm.
Barbara don't cook. Barbara don't clean. Barbara don't watch no babies. Barbara ain't ish. They call women like her a trophy wife. She's just there to look cute. So now, while she's sitting here with 3 maids, busy looking cute, guess what she's not doing? She not watching that baby.
Oh, wow.
Bobby, the baby's name is Vincent. Right here under findagrave.com, it says, son of a music legend, Sam Cooke, Vincent, a toddler, drowned in the family swimming pool after wandering outside and falling in. So this is my little bit of commentary. The way Vincent died, and the word is Sam was in Puerto Rico with his girlfriend Dottie that he never stopped dating while he was with the Soul Stirrers. And Barbara was drinking and on the phone with Bobby Womack. You getting drunk, yapping on the phone to Bobby, and you not watching this baby? Barbara left the youngest daughter, the 4-year-old, in charge of Vincent, and he jumped in the pool. Barbara left a 4-year-old to watch a baby
And was there 3 maids in the house?
with 3 maids in the house.
They should have got 2 maids and a nanny. Like straight up.
Barbara didn't get there in time, and the
Uh,
little boy was unalive. Sam never forgave Barbara for that.
yeah.
Now, that's not the crazy part. After Barbara got with Bobby, let me go back. That's Bobby right here. After Barbara gets with Bobby, brother, tell me why they have a son, and guess what they named the son?
All right, I guess we're about.
Barbara, after Sam dies, after little Vincent dies, she goes and has a baby with Sam and names the baby Vincent.
Why? The same name?
The same name as her baby by Sam Cooke.
Why would she do that?
Why? What is your problem, lady?
That's weird.
So-
She probably thought she was being like in honor of, or like she was trying to create some type of. I mean, I've seen people do that with pets, but I don't think it's right to do that with kids.
Well, can I ask the listening audience?
Yeah.
Press 111 if she was bat-ish wrong. If you, the listening audience, believe she was wrong, press 111. I want to know what y'all think. If she was wrong, if she was horrible, if she was psycho, if it was bad that she named that baby that you had with another man. Now, I could see if Sam was alive and they had another baby and that was Sam's baby and they called him Vincent, but you had a baby with a whole different man and you named that baby Vincent, bro, that's out of line, in my opinion.
It would have been
Listen,
weirder if she named him Bobby. That would have
well, I
been
mean,
even more weird.
now, if it's Bobby's son, I can get that.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to be moving on from Sam. If you name that baby Vincent, if you name that baby Sam, how the hell are you getting closure? How are you moving on? How are
Yeah.
you moving into you bringing remnants of the old marriage into the new marriage?
Yeah.
And you was drunk on the phone with Bobby when little Vincent died in the first place. Now you and Bobby got another baby and y'all gonna name him brother. I'm sorry, I didn't take my blood pressure pills today. I'm joking. I don't take blood
I was gonna say, damn, for real.
pressure.
I know you don't have high blood pressure.
Right. I'm just saying, bear with me, please. I'm
I
sorry.
feel you. That's
So
crazy.
now, look here at Internet Movie Database at the bottom. Bobby Womack trivia. So Bobby and this girl have a son named Vincent. Oh yeah, I'm gonna press 111. Here, let me press 111. That shit is crazy. So Bobby and Barbara have a baby named Vincent.
Mhm.
It says here at the very bottom. Here, let me delete this to focus your attention. It reads, Vincent, this is Bobby's son, committed suicide in 1988 at the age of 21 in front of his mother, Barbara. Bro, so you had a baby named Vincent, and that baby died in front of you in the pool. That was Sam's baby. Then you went and turned around and had a baby by Bobby. And that baby, when he was 21, he unalived himself in front of you.
Because he was despondent that his girlfriend left over a girl, man.
All of them, Bobby over a girl, Cecil and Curtis over a girl. Harry was killed. Bobby Womack has a brother named Harry Womack. Let's check the receipts on this family. How did Harry Womack die? I mean, on the night of March 9th, 1974, shortly after arriving at Bobby's, Patricia started an argument with Harry, claiming she found a pair of panties in the room he was occupying in Bobby's home. Engulfed in rage, fueled by jealousy, Patricia grabbed a steak knife, plunged it into Harry's neck.
Ugh.
They said Harry walked around with that knife in his neck. He went outside and sat on the front porch of Bobby's house, waiting for the ambulance to get there. The neighbors saw him, but they didn't want to. They said, "We're gonna mind our business." Remember, they in the hills of Hollywood. They in the upper hills of Hollywood. So the neighbors like, "We're gonna mind our business." He sat down on a porch with a steak knife lunged in his neck, and he sat there and he bled out to death. And by the time the ambulance came, he was DOA.
Yeah. Damn.
All of them behind women. Brother, do you know how much all is?
Yeah.
All of them behind. Bobby's son was behind a woman. It was behind a woman. The only reason we talk about Bobby right now is not because he can play the guitar.
Mm.
It was because of a woman. Let me see, can I pull up some more receipts?
1988.
Which one?
I'm trying to see
That
it.
previous one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Here,
because that's really not that long ago. I mean, it's a while ago.
but it's kind of not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
totally agree.
the mind starts thinking like, well, back in those days, they didn't have as much social media and stuff like that. And, your mind starts to rationalize the whole story and be like, well, there wasn't much selection back then as there is now. So when you met somebody, it was more. But even still, not everybody was, because cheating's been going on forever.
Right.
And not everyone who's been cheated on will go to those extremes. So that's
Factory.
yeah, that's just crazy.
Let me see, can I pull up some of these other receipts? Bobby Womack stole Jackie Wilson's benefit concert money too. He had a bad drug habit. This is from Wikipedia. It reads, in 1976, Womack organized a benefit at the Hollywood Palladium to raise funds for his friend, singer Jackie Wilson, who had suffered a heart attack. So I started talking to ChatGPT or Skynet.
Yeah.
Skynet says, there have been long-standing rumors and some controversy surrounding Bobby Womack's involvement with Jackie Wilson's finances, but it's important to clarify that the situation is not entirely clear. According to some reports, Bobby Womack, who was a close friend and worked as a musician for Jackie Wilson, was accused of being involved in mismanagement of funds, including money that was supposed to go to Jackie Wilson's benefit after he fell ill. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but what I'm pointing out to you is that Bobby Womack was in the midst of a lot of riffraff.
Yeah.
So Bobby was on tour with Jimi Hendrix.
Wow.
They were together for about a year, two, maybe 2, 3 years, I think. But somebody says to me, Crumb, while on tour during the early 60s, Bobby's brother, Friendly, this is his daddy's first son, Friendly Jr., Bobby's brother, Friendly, accused Jimmy of stealing his money with no proof. And when Jimmy fell asleep on the bus, Friendly threw his guitar off of a moving bus. Bobby talked about Jimmy's clothes, his hygiene, and badmouthed Jimmy. This stuff is well known. Bobby Womack said he liked Jimmy. He liked Jimmy a lot. He said Jimi Hendrix was such a positive person. You could cuss Jimmy out and he would say, "You might be right, you might be wrong, but I appreciate you." No matter what you said to him, that was his comeback. They said Jimi Hendrix never, this is on the tour bus, never yelled, and even when Friendly threw his guitar, he he still didn't yell, and they said he loved that guitar. So this is just the nature of his family. Bobby's brothers were also notorious. One of his brothers was unalived by his own wife. Yeah, we talked about that. Bobby tried to screw over Teddy Pendergrass when he was on the road with them. But here, let me back up and just kind of tell this story for the family that doesn't know. So I think that it's actually in this particular PowerPoint. Let me see if I can. Oh, I didn't put it in a particular PowerPoint. But anyway, so the whole thing with Bobby Womack. Bobby Womack is the apprentice of Sam Cooke. Sam Cooke dies. Sam Cooke has been cheating on his wife the whole marriage and probably before. Sam Cooke's 35, 36. His wife is 32, 33, maybe 34. They're in their mid 30s. Bobby Womack, while they're in their mid 30s, he is, let's say, 17, 18. He's a kid, 18 years old, hanging around with 30-year-olds. So now this woman is grooming him. Sam Cooke's wife is Barbara, is grooming Bobby when he was a child. Now she was using him and manipulating him. And everybody would always say that that Bobby was supposed to get with Sam Cooke's daughter. This is what Bobby Womack said in his book. Bobby Womack said that all the older people, because Bobby Womack is closer in age with Sam Cooke's daughter than he is with Sam Cooke's wife. So before Sam Cooke died, Sam Cooke and his wife Barbara would both say, "Oh, Bobby, you need to go get with our daughter. Y'all would make a cute couple." They would say this in front of the daughter and everything. So when Sam died, Barbara started leaning on Bobby. Matter of fact, here, let me ask you this, brother. Why do older women get into these intimate relationships with young boys?
Because it makes them feel young.
Let's ask the listening audience.
Yeah.
Listening audience, why do older women get with these young boys, like the school teachers? Why does a school teacher get with a boy that's 12, 13?
Oh, damn,
Why
that's
do,
that's way young. Yeah. I thought you meant
well, I
like
mean,
22, 23. Because I mean, I did notice, in the industry that I'm in that we call them cougars between the ages of 30 and 40. The older ladies, they had more of a sex drive. You know what I mean? Than the
right.
girls that were in their early 20s. And the girls that are in their early 20s always went for older dudes. But the girls that were like in cougar age after 30 seemed to go for the younger dudes. But I was talking about the age group of 22, 23, you know?
I mean, even at that age, it still applies. The reason women, herb wise, and I'm sure somebody else who said it, the first one I saw, please forgive me, the rest of the family who may have said it first. He said in one word, manipulation. The reason
Mm.
why an older woman gets with a younger man is because she can manipulate him. She can't, she can easily get with any man she wants, no matter what his age is. The reason she gets with a younger man is because the younger man is inexperienced and doesn't handle her like an experienced man does. She manipulated that young boy. That's not and if you read the book, he was the youngest, the greenest, the most easy to manipulate. He admits in the book, I was sexually frustrated. She took advantage of that. She manipulated him. So now She marries him, and the whole time, well, almost up until the moment they have sex, he's still calling her Mrs. Cooke. Remember, he's a kid. He said almost all the way up until the point where he's going to penetrate her, he's still calling her Mrs. Cooke. She said, "Stop calling me Mrs. Cooke. Call me Barbara." But he's still in a kid state of mind at this point.
Yeah.
He's, young boys is going to say that. You and me, we're going to grab her, "Get your ass down, Barbara. Get over here."
Hmm.
That's how an experienced man would handle her.
Yeah.
But a young boy would, yeah, call her Mrs. Cook. And that was a part of the book that I laughed at. Like, oh, he
Yeah.
he 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 sounded like a young boy. So now, um, with that said, she marries him. She says, just marry me for 5 years. He says, "I want to be with you forever." She says, "Nah." She says, "Just give me 5 years." He's like, "Okay, bet." So they get married, and she's still manipulating him,
Mm.
and she manipulates him so much they start swinging, and he's not ready for it. So it's him in a room. Remember, he's still young. He's the youngest person in the room. No facial hair, no nothing. Barbara's in the room, and she's in her 30s with another woman who's in her 30s, and she also has another man, and he's in his 40s. So then she says to him in front of everybody, "So you hip, ain't you?" He's like, "Hip? What are you talking about?" She says, "You hip, ain't you?" And he's like, "Sure, yeah, I'm hip." She was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go have sex with him, and you go have sex with his wife." And then, this is in front of everybody. So Bobby's like, "What's happening right now?" So then when they try to do the swinging thing, Barbara goes over there and get her back blown out. Bobby was so uncomfortable because he's a kid. He couldn't even get it up. He was so uncomfortable. He couldn't even get it up. So then the girl says in front of everybody, "Wow, Barbara's getting her back blown out. He can't even get it up, and I've tried everything." So now he's humiliated. So he goes back to the house and he's tight. And the daughter, her name is Linda, she's like 15, 16. She's there. And he told the daughter what happened. And the daughter was like, "I told you you shouldn't be messing with my mama like that. You and her should have never got married. And I told you she was a thought." Of course she didn't say thought, but you get it.
Yeah.
So then the daughter was like, "And for real, you and I were supposed to be together from day one. You being with her, I don't even know why you with my mama, because you and I are more closer in age." So Bobby's in his bed, kind of, you know, uh, licking his wounds or whatever the case may be. So Bobby said she gets in the bed with him. So in this particular situation, Bobby did not initiate the sexual encounter. I didn't mean to say that word. Please forgive me.
No, you're good.
Bobby did not initiate that encounter with his stepdaughter. The stepdaughter initiated that. Bobby did not initiate the romantic rendezvous with Sam Cooke's ex-wife. Sam Cooke's ex-wife did that. Bobby didn't initiate the relationship with his stepdaughter. The stepdaughter initiated that.
Mm.
I did a video. I said it then and I'll say it again. In the beginning, there was nothing but women, and women created men to serve them. I made a video about it. I said it then and I'll say it again. In the beginning, there was nothing but women, and women created men to serve them.
Mm.
Bobby Womack is an example of that. Because remember, even though the daughter was younger than he was, women mature faster than men.
Mm-hmm.
The daughter was more hip than he was. He was still naive. The mama was more, everybody around him was always, he complained throughout the whole book. I'm trying to be a man and I'm trying to look like I'm grown and this and this and that. And he was still, in a child's place.
How old was he?
He was like 18, 19.
18, 19. Okay.
And, the whole story, he's dealing with 30, 40-year-olds.
Yeah.
So now he told Barbara, I'm going to go downstairs and work on some music. While Barbara's asleep, he's supposed to be in the little makeshift studio working on music. He's smashing Linda,
The daughter.
the daughter, his stepdaughter.
And
Wow.
how old's the daughter?
She's like 14, 15.
Mm.
So
Wow.
he's smashing her while Barbara is in a master bedroom knocked out. Now, Barbara is also financing him. Why do older women get with younger men? Because they can control them. In the book, he complained about how Barbara was controlling him because she would give him $50 a week. And he complained that when she gave it to him, she tried to do it in a way that didn't feel like allowance
Mm.
because this is arrested development.
That's a sugar mama.
She's the sugar mama, but she's in full control. So now he's smashing Linda in the middle of the night when he's supposed to be working on music while Barbara's asleep. So one night, for whatever reason, Barbara, I guess she go down to the studio and she sees he's not there. Then she goes to the daughter's room and she turns on the light. And Bobby was on top of Linda. And of course, neither one of them had clothes on. And they're embracing each other. Not only are they connected, but they're kissing.
Oh,
And
damn.
he said because they're making love and they're kissing, it didn't look like she was pushing him away or it was grape. It was consensual.
Yeah.
So now she turns the light on. She sees that. She screams something to the effect, "What are you doing?" or "Get off of my daughter," and this and this and that. And she runs away. She runs to go get a gun. It's only a 22, but
Damn, already?
guns
What happened to the belt? What, they're going right to guns and stuff? That's crazy.
So she goes to get the gun. And Bobby gets out of there. And Bobby's in the garage, but he forgot his keys. So he couldn't jump in the car. I think all he has on is boxers or whatever the case may be. And he runs out the house and she tries to open the garage door. And he's holding the garage door because he forgot his keys. So she shoots through the door. And then Bobby do got a big
Wait, so she just opened fires right there?
She shot through she got the blicky.
God, man, like it's nothing. She didn't stop and think about it. She didn't get upset first or try to throw a shoe or something like that. She went right to the firearm.
So Bobby said that joint grazed the top of his scalp. And they were divorced within the next week or so.
Oh, I bet. That's crazy. Yeah. So he dodged a bullet literally on that one. Damn. Man.
So now Linda has an estranged relationship with her mother. From that day on, Linda and Barbara, the mother and daughter, never spoke again till their dying days.
That must have been some awkward Thanksgivings right there, for real.
Man.
Now this is a crazy story. It's not in a movie. They haven't made a documentary on this because this sounds like a script that could just be sold in Hollywood.
Man, well, see, this is the thing. When you look through these stories, that story isn't very unique. all of them had stories like that. The 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 Ray Charles sexcapades,
What?
you know, um, Sam Cooke was notorious, because Sam Cooke, when Sam Cooke was unalived, it was by a woman, like a little Asian woman, I believe it was. They said, well, here, I'll read it. Cooke was shot to death in a LA motel by the hotel's manager. At his initial, no, so anyway, this is the story. At the hotel, they said Sam kicked the girl's door in. I don't believe that, but whatever. And she had a she had a broom and she broke both of his arms with the broom.
Kind of
No, matter of
broom is
fact,
it?
no. Not only did she break both of his arms, but she smashed his face in.
With a broomstick?
Bro. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
I mean, you get a good enough swing, I could see the face thing, but breaking arms with a broomstick, you would need a good solid bat. I can't think like a flimsy broomstick could break arms.
At his initial funeral, Sam's body was so mangled. His head was bashed in, his arms looked broken and disfigured, his hands looked smashed. Sam's body looked so bad that many mourners said it looked like he was not resting in peace.
Oh my
Cook's
god.
family, they blamed the mortician for the shabby work, so much so that they demanded to make Cook look more presentable and even demanded a second funeral. Etta James saw Cook's body before he was buried and maintained his injuries were more consistent with those of a beating, not with being shot.
Now wait, this is by Barbara?
No, no, no. This is by some small little Asian lady. She's a hotel manager. And 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 Sam was over there getting skins that night. So Sam died behind some tail. Uh, Harry died behind some tail. Vincent died behind some tail.
Yo,
Um,
but Sam
uh,
was with Barbara, and Barbara had attempted murder, but then Sam eventually got unalived by a woman.
Correct. Now, um,
Hell,
Bobby didn't press charges on Barbara, so
wow.
Barbara never caught no charges for that.
What kind of? Where do they find these crazy? Now, quick question, because someone brought it up in the chat. What type of, uh, you know, drugs was being used around for these people? Like, were they on any controlled substances? They had to be.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, no question about it. Now, Sam was notable because he didn't do any drugs. He was
Wow.
the only one.
For real? Hey, that's the Pisces? No,
No, Bobby's the
Bobby
Pisces.
was the Pisces. Yeah. Wow. That isn't that ironic?
But you got another crazy story with Marvin Gaye as well. Marvin Gaye daddy unalived him.
What?
And Marvin Gaye daddy liked to dress up as a girl.
Oh
Let me see. Marvin Gaye fathered cross-dressing.
man,
Which
this
is,
this music industry turning out to be crazier than I thought.
bro, that's Marvin Gaye daddy in a daggone
I
in a
mean,
whole wig.
Michael Jackson had a crazy father too, but like, there's a lot to be said about having a strict parent. Sometimes it could work for your benefit, because Michael Jackson, I heard about his father was very strict, but I don't know the story with Marvin Gaye's dad.
Marvin Gaye knew his daddy was bat-ish crazy.
Mm.
That's why Marvin Gaye gave his daddy the firearm that was used to unalive him. Marvin invented,
Intervened?
um, intervened, excuse me. Marvin Gaye intervened in a fight between his parents
Oh,
on the April Fools on the afternoon of April 1st. Brother, let me see.
in L.A.
Is April Fool's really the new year?
They only say that because technically that's going by the astrological new year, in which the year begins when spring starts.
Well, well, the thing about like April Fool's Day, how did April Fool's Day get started?
Because
Uh,
everyone's fooled into thinking that it's not the beginning of the year when actually it is. So it's like that's their day of making fun of people, and where it's like April Fools, spring starts now. This is the actual New Year. I didn't explain it as eloquently as ChatGPT can, but that's basically the understanding. If you want to
fair
get
enough.
real technical, like the New Year would technically be like March 26th, but they just kind of made it April 1st.
The story goes back to the 1500s in France when the Julian calendar, established by Julius Caesar, was replaced by the Gregorian calendar introduced by Pope Gregory the 13th and still used in most parts of the world. In the old Julian calendar, the new year began on April 1st, but with the new Gregorian calendar, the new year was set to begin on January 1st. News did not always travel fast in those days, so not everyone got the word that the start of the new year changed January 1st. They kept celebrating it on April 1st, and they were widely mocked as April Fools.
Yeah.
So on the first day of the year, according to the Julian calendar, Marvin intervened in a fight between his parents. This is April 1st, 1984, in the family house in LA, and he became involved in a physical altercation with his father, Marvin Gaye Sr., who shot him in the chest, piercing his heart. Gaye Sr. was charged with first degree. He was quoted as saying at the time, "I didn't mean to do it." Now, never forget, just 2 days prior, Marvin tried to unalive himself and failed. He knew where he failed, his father would succeed.
Wow.
Tammy Terrell, the leader of the Temptations, David Ruffin, was said to hit Tammy Terrell in the head with a hammer. And everybody back then knew Tammy Terrell suffered from brain tumors.
Oh,
But
what?
who was Tammy Terrell's boyfriend before the abuse of David Ruffin? Let me ask the listening audience. Or, matter of fact, brother, I want to ask you, who was Tammy Terrell's boyfriend who would bop her tail in the head just like David Ruffin did?
Oh no.
Listening audience, who was Tammy Terrell's boyfriend and would beat her senseless just like David Ruffin? David Ruffin was the lead singer of the Temptations was beating on Tammy and hit her in the head with a hammer. Yeah, I know that. But who was with Tammy doing the same, maybe not with a hammer, but beating on her in the head, knowing she had brain tumors?
All this violence, man.
It was the late, great James Brown.
Wow.
Did James Brown beat on Tammy Terrell? I mean, backup singer turned Marvin Gaye collaborator Tammy Terrell was savagely beaten by Brown in the 60s. And in 2005, he was sued for raping a woman at gunpoint in 1988, but the charges were dropped. James Brown and David Ruffin used to beat Tammy Terrell senseless in the head. Tammy liked that type of thing, though. Tammy liked that type of thing. Hold on, let me check. Did David Ruffin beat Tammy Terrell? Yes. David Ruffin hit Tammy Terrell in the head with his motorcycle helmet in 1967, ending their relationship. He bopped her with a hammer as well.
That's
Listen,
horrible.
Tammy Terrell liked that type of stuff.
But why all this violence? Like, was he on drugs too?
Yeah, they were all on drugs.
Man.
And
All and
the
it's
only,
all amphetamines, all cocaine and stuff.
yeah, basically. I just want to point out that I don't want anybody to walk away and to say that Bobby Womack and his family and those incidences were some anomalies of that time. Eh, it wasn't really an anomaly. It was more the standard. But I've said a lot. Let me breathe, brother. What say ye?
I say don't do drugs because at the end of the day, I feel like the drugs is the biggest culprit out of all this. Like that's the lesson I hear out of all this because it's like to cause that type of imbalance in the brain, that type of rage, that type of thought pattern to to go there right to the firearms, to go right to violence. That's not the human mind at work. That is the altercation from controlled substances that are like amphetamines. You know what I'm saying? It's the adrenaline combined with just the psychosis that happens in the mind to get that type of emotion to where you want to cause that type of violence and not care. It's the amphetamines, man. It's horrible. Those are the worst drugs, man. And they were way common back then. They were way common. I work in the club industry, and I remember seeing like a few years ago this guy trying to push, some of the white powder. And when they come around me, I always dog these people. You know what I mean? Like, what are you, a drug dealer? And he was trying to push some stuff. I'm like, bro, that stuff is outdated. This ain't the 70s. I don't know why you're trying to push that around here. If we want that type of hype, we can go to GNC and get a pre-workout and have a healthier version of that. Ain't nobody want your stuff. You know what I mean? Like you can if you get yourself a pre-workout, you feel like you on that same stuff, but it's a lot healthier than that stuff because that going up through your nose navel cavity, horrible. I told him get out of here. You're not gonna get any sales around here. This is 2025. People are looking for those ecstasy or whatever those other pills are, which is a whole other conversation. I talk trash about those drugs too, but no, I always give drug dealers and people who do drugs a hard time, man. It's an outdated drug. It's outdated. If you doing that stuff, you in the past. That is an outdated, and it's just horrible for you. Anyway, that's all I gotta say.
Well, I think I might want to tempt you to say more.
For sure.
Are you familiar with Janis Joplin?
To a degree, yeah. My parents spoke of her, and she also had very popular songs in that whole hippie era.
Correct.
I forgot what the famous one was.
Well, Janis Joplin, don't you want somebody to love?
Yeah.
Don't you need somebody to love? Don't you? They did that in karaoke on the movie Cable Guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like one of the famous covers from that movie, but of
Yeah.
course that was years later. But yeah, Janis Joplin is famous in her own right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Janis Joplin, for all intents and purposes, was the very first Whitney Houston. I wanna ask the listening audience because I want to see who's smart. I want to see who's smart. Who is the connection between Janis Joplin and Whitney Houston? Listening audience, I want to see which one of y'all is really on it. One of y'all who, I just listened to the beat. I'm not a gambling man, but if I was a gambling man, I'd say most of the family's not really ready for this one.
Man.
Oh, or truck 74080. He got it right. This person named Truck 74080. He got it right. Clive Davis. Clive Davis. So now, Janis Joplin and Whitney Houston, do you know where Whitney Houston died at, brother? Well, here, let me ask the listening audience. Oh, here, screw it. Let me ask you.
Yeah, the audience knows this is outside my knowledge area.
Listening audience, where did Whitney Houston? We see the comments right now. Janis Joplin died in a hotel. Where did Whitney Houston die? Listening audience, Hear me now, believe me later. There's a connection. I'm going somewhere with this. Where did Whitney Houston die? I'm gonna give you a couple more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Everybody's saying a bathtub. Okay, Solar Facts says in a bathtub in a hotel. Shout out to Solar Facts. He's the first one to get it right.
Mm.
Janis Joplin was under the management of Clive Davis when she was unalived in a hotel overdosing on drugs. Bobby Womack was the last person to see her. So now you have Whitney Houston, who dies, drug overdose in a hotel. And I think it was Brandy. With just one of them days
Mm.
when a girl just want. Wait, is that Brandy or is that other girl, Monica? I
Monica?
don't know. That's Monica?
I forgot. I used to sing that song too.
Listen, Brandy and Monica's the same person as off first. I don't care. But anyway, it's probably Monica. Bear with me. My apologies. But anyway, I think it was
Monica.
Brandy. Yeah, that was Monica.
Yeah.
But I don't know what song Brandy sang, but Brandy sung one of these some songs back in the day. But anyway, so yeah, I think it was Brandy who was the last person to see Whitney before she died, and
Mm.
Whitney's had passed Brandy a note saying J. Clive. I don't know what the note said. I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I suspect the note had something to do with J. Clive unaliving her. Bobby don't say nothing about nobody who is not black in his book. He don't.
Mm.
But the person who's around, he's kind of like the puppet master, just kind of overseeing all of these crazy stories that I'm telling you. There's a handful of people overseeing all of these stories. There's a handful of people, and J. Clive Davis is one of them, right here in the top left-hand corner. That's J. Clive Davis. He's overseeing all of this. Bobby don't say nothing about him in particular. Oh, I wanna be down with what you going through.
Mm.
It, anyway, that's I could have look. Monica could have sung that song. Shit, I don't know.
Mm. That
But
was Brandy,
anyway,
yeah.
yeah, I'm hating now. Bear with me. Um, but yeah, so with that said, all of this is happening under um the custody, because you're signed to us, you're going to do these things, and it's kind of all operating under us. Um, to the bottom right hand corner is another one, and I'll mention him by name as well. Leor Cohen. He's he's going to be another one. Leor comes in a little bit later, but these are the people. I call them juicies.
Mm.
These are the people who are overseeing all of these things that are happening, you know, just like with Janis Joplin, just like with Whitney Houston, so on and so forth. So the video that Killah Priest sent me was a song written by Bobby Womack that a lot of people consider to be a confession. So we know Bobby Womack, he sits here and he marries his mentor's wife, and he has seg with his mentor's daughter, and he even wore Sam Cooke's suit to Sam Cooke's funeral. And Sam Cooke's brothers were so mad that they beat Bobby Womack up for that.
Oh wow.
But I digress.
Man, this is a
Please.
movie. This could be a movie.
It could be. So now Bobby Womack, I'm sorry, he comes out with a song called I Wish You Didn't Trust Me So Much, because ultimately Bobby really loved Sam Cooke, and he felt bad for everything that happened. And he kind of, some people say this song wasn't about Sam Cooke or whatever the case may be, but it did kind of seem that way to me.
Mm.
Um, let me see if I can pull up the lyrics.
It's interesting looking at that cover though. There's some symbology in that cover. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah, with the checkerboard floors and the two pillars.
You already know exactly. You already know. I have to say it. You got it. 100%.
And then if you look behind him, there's a mist on the top and the bottom, as it is above, it is below. So when you look at those two pillars, those are could be considered Masonic pillars.
Sun and moon.
Just like the sun and the moon. Concrete, limestone, and wood. It could also be considered the pillars of Hercules, which were also the pillars of Samson.
I'm lively between two pillars of ivory.
Ivory. Oh my God.
Ooh, I mean, it's a Killah Priest Podcraft. We had to mention that. You know what I'm saying?
Hot sauce. So now with the checkerboard floor, that represents duality with the black and the white. And you see the square represents 360 degrees of knowledge, of information. So yeah, this joint goes super deep, and I'm not going to be too surprised when we're dealing with somebody like Bobby Womack, because in the book it did strike me odd that Bobby would even make, such a focal point on astrology. Because, if I had to assume, obviously you can't judge a book by its cover, but if I would assume, I just wouldn't assume he was that type of person. Like he's really, he go deep in that stuff, and this album cover is of no exception, apparently.
He was lounging.
Bobby Womack, I can't even think of it because you just blew my mind.
Lounging between two pillars of ivory.
Two pillars of, I judge wisely, as if nothing ever surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was on that was one of his first verses ever on what song was that on? That was one of his first verses ever. I'm about to pull some
Fourth chamber.
Fourth chamber. Teach Muhammad.
Yeah, lounging between two pillars of ivory. It just fits that cover as a description so well. We would need
really
Priest.
does.
We would need Priest here to really give us the insight on the inspiration of his lyrics.
Yeah, I wonder where Priest sits on this. Well, I kind of don't, because he was really excited about doing this video, but his presence is definitely missed, because I know he would add all types of value to this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is what I wanted to do. I wish he didn't trust me so much. Bobby Womack, I wish he didn't trust me so much. Lyrics. I'm the best friends. I'm the best friend he's got. I'd give him the shirt off my back. He knows he can trust me with his life, but he's trying to leave me alone. Leaves me alone with his wife. Brother, I'm not the smartest man in the world. But anyway, I wish he didn't trust me so much. I think he really trusts me too much. How can he be so blind? We've both got the same good taste. He should know he's gone. He should know when he's gone on his business trips. I can't help watching his woman because I'm losing my grip.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he didn't trust me so much. I think he really trusts me too much. This is the Bobby Womack song.
Yeah.
In my best Kamala voice. Let's be clear, okay? But no, yeah, that's, and of course I've got more, but I didn't put it into I didn't organize it like I really wanted to. He just kind of hit me, and I was like, yeah. But ultimately I'll say this. I read the book, Midnight Mover. It was a great book. Um, I did a video 2 years ago called F Bobby Womack
Mm-hmm.
on the Killah Priest Podcraft. I want to publicly apologize for that. I was wrong. I was simping for that girl. I
Mm.
treat I treated her like she could do no wrong. I was pretending like she was the child and he was the adult.
Mm-hmm.
And I had it all wrong about Bobby. Bobby got manipulated, and even though he got a big head, looking like O.J. Simpson, he was thinking with his little head.
It always gets us in trouble.
Come on. So, brother, with that said, that's my presentation on Bobby, the midnight mover, the midnight lover. You know, he slept, he married his mentor's wife after his mentor died. He slept with his mentor's daughter after his mentor died. He wore his mentor's suit to his funeral, all types of just whatever. But we can't judge Bobby off of that because verily I say unto thee, family, context is king. And that's where I want to drop the mic on the Bobby Womack story. I yield the floor.
Wow. Another outstanding presentation. CrumbTV. Yo, that's great, man. I mean, for putting that together so fast, I think that's impressive right there too. You know what I'm saying? Man, if y'all have any questions in the chat, let them loose.
Yeah, because there's just so much I didn't talk about, but there was a lot within there. So if anybody knows anything about it or just any questions about it, I'm glad to. Oh, matter of fact, I was talking to Crip Jesus about this,
Mm.
and Crip Jesus, he spent probably half of his life in federal prison.
Mm.
Yeah,
I think you mentioned that, yeah.
yeah. Um, Nothing to brag about, nothing to brag about at all. However, he met people in there. And one part of the Bobby Womack story that I talked to him about was Bobby Womack's other sons. Because after Vincent, there were more. And his next son was a career criminal, and he was locked up with Crip Jesus out there in LA. And from what I understand, Bobby Womack's sons were on Killah Priest podcast with Crip Jesus, and they assumed Crip Jesus didn't know their brother. And Crip Jesus said, "Yeah, I know your brother. I was locked up with him, and he's still in there right as to this day, like right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's in there right now. So yeah, yeah. So if anybody got any questions or anything they want to know about the book or whatever the case may be, or maybe you just want to add value, please, I think now's the time. But here, listen, you can lead this parade too, AD, if you want. You can tap in anything
I
that I
mean,
missed or you want to build
yeah,
on.
no, I'm just taking it all in. You know, I'm always someone who likes to look back and see how things got started and like why. And so like I said my piece on the drugs thing as is, you know what I mean? Because I see so much of biology being a big factor of our behaviors, the biology being a big factor of why we do things, how we do things, and the way we do things. So I'm always like trying to see like when someone passes or something, I'm like, what happened? Like what were they eating? What were they doing drugs? You know what I mean? Like what was happening with their biology to make that happen? You know what I mean? So um I see that whole thing as just like, cocaine's a hell of a drug, just like Rick James said, you know?
So um to the credit of Bobby Womack, Bobby didn't start doing drugs until late in his career. So
Wow.
Bobby had got a this is after Sam Cooke transitions. After Sam Cooke is unalive, Bobby gets a gig with uh Ray Charles. Ray Charles just comes off drugs and he's clean now.
Mm-hmm.
So Ray is trying to put together a band, and when Ray puts together the band, he says, "I only want people who are drug free." To your point.
Mm.
So when Ray Charles put together his band, Bobby Hemmett was a part of. I keep saying Bobby Hemmett. Bobby
Yeah.
Womack was a part of Ray Charles's band because Bobby was drug free. Um, and I think, now that I think about it, it was a woman that got Bobby on drugs. So there you have it. It's just, Adam and Eve
Yeah. See, women can be a drug also.
teach.
That's another factor of our biology as men is that because drugs can be very much a dopamine hit. And you already know that, relations with a woman is a dopamine hit as is too. It's really easy to become an addict with the females also. Especially if you're getting it on a regular basis and she's fun, it's really easy to get addicted to all that. You can get addicted to anything, as everybody knows. And that's why when you mentioned the Pisces thing, it's like, shoot, we do have addictive personalities. I've been a pothead for a long time, and I barely smoke now because it's GMO weed. It's not even weed anymore. It's some Frankenstein stuff. So thank goodness though too, because I wanted to be able to back off of it. If it was the same stuff that I had in 2002 or 2005, or even back when the Chronic came out, that's when it was at a great medium potency. But now it's so crazy. But anyway, it's really easy to get addicted to those types of things, man. But like my point is that yeah, you can get addicted to women too. You got to be careful with the females that you allow into your life, because like fire, they can help you and they can hurt you. But I feel like I'm speaking to the choir because we have a very profound audience that watches this show. I see the analytics, so it's kind of an older audience. So I feel that a lot of people who watch this show are already experienced in such things. So like I said, I don't want to preach to the choir, but I love the profound audience that watches this show because I learn a lot from the chat room, which is why I put the chat in the video. This is one of the very few podcasts you'll watch where the chat room is in the video because they're profound audience. These are great people. And I feel like what they say is great. Shout out to Jay Bland, Two Eyes, Solar Facts. You know what I'm saying? I feel like their contributions are good enough to be on screen. Knowledge Born in the house. Oh, there you go. Peace, peace. KB, what's good? I think he's probably getting his camera or audio together. But yeah, man. Well, you shaved off the dreads. You must have done that a while ago. When did the dreads come back? Get cut off? You're like
Yeah, I say about the very beginning of the year,
wow, starting the year fresh.
according to the Gregorian calendar.
That's right. That's right. So since you cut them off, do you feel any different? Does it have any kind of effect, like with your mind at all? They say their hair is like your antennas. Do you feel any different since you've cut your hair?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. When you're dealing with the head, your head is a part of your identity. That's why when on your ID, you don't have to show your whole body, just your head, because your head is a part of your identity. So now, when you change your hair, that's a part of your identity. So when I lost my hair, or I let go of my hair, it changed my identity.
And did you feel any difference mentally? Did you feel any I don't know how to explain it, but like I don't know, just like your day to day. Did your mind feel any different?
No, not anything in particular.
Oh, okay.
But I would say my mind frame and my thoughts shifted.
Mm.
But let's hone in on the women real quick.
Go ahead.
When women cut their hair, the big chop, they're usually going through something.
Britney Spears.
Bingo. Erica Badu as well. When Erica Badu flopped and she didn't sell no records and nobody went to her tour, that's when she cut her hair. Go back and look it up.
Oh wow.
Um, I think it was in the movie, and I may be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the movie, what movie was that? The Devil's Advocate. That lawyer, his girl, because he was a small time lawyer, and his girlfriend was a small town girl. And when they went to the big city, it overwhelmed her, and she cut her body all up, but she also cut her hair off. Because when a woman's going through something, she'll cut her hair because she's feel like she's losing control, and it help her gain control. And it's her starting over and starting something new. Though with a woman, it can be associated with emotional damage. It can be emotional damage. It can also be something new. We saw where Samson, a part of his identity changed when he cut his hair. But we're going to see the same thing in ancient Rome. In ancient Rome, it was a rule: you don't wear a mustache, you don't wear a beard,
Huh. I didn't know
because
that.
yeah, none of the higher ups, people wore beards and stuff like that, but at a certain level, like people in the Senate and generals or whatever the case may be, they didn't wear facial hair because it was to ensure their identity. So
Hmm.
even if they had children, hey, that's my son or that's my daughter, and this is who I am. You can see me, because it's a part of their identity. Um, but nonetheless, yeah. So my identity has changed, but it's not even changed. This is I didn't. I've had short hair all my life. I grew my hair out. That was the change. So I'm kind of just going back to who I was in terms of identity.
Got you. That's what's up, man. Peace. Knowledge born. How you doing, sir?
Mic check, 1, 2. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. What's good? Welcome back.
I understood, the architect, no father to his down, no father to his sound, but always facilitates one of the greatest gatherings on the planet. This is
Oh,
my addiction, right? The Killah
right?
Priest Podcraft. That's my addictive personality over here.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Corleone said, every time I try to get out, they pull me back in.
Oh
So
man. Yeah, it's an honor to be doing it, but wait till you see the new setup on Sunday. When we have Priest back in the studio, I rearranged the whole
really
living room,
excited.
man. It's gonna look real different. The vibe will be a little different. You'll see.
Oh yeah, it's Pisces season in full effect, man. Today is Floyd Mayweather's birthday
Oh what?
and Daniel Kaluuya. Now check this out. Daniel Kaluuya, he's like the UK Denzel, they call him, right? He was in Get Out. He was in uh, Wakanda Forever. He was in a bunch of different movies. Actually, he was the guy that got Winston Duke, the guy who played in Baku for 3 of those films. He got him his first gig
Hmm.
in a movie. So yeah, him and Floyd Mayweather and Ice Cube's son, O'Shea Jr., their birthdays today.
That's what's up. Happy birthday to
Look,
them.
look at these dreamers, right? Pisces in full effect, man. This is AD season,
Yeah, I'm
right?
feeling it. And with Mars Direct, I feel like the past
Right.
few days have been a lot more energy moving forward. I want to do
But everybody was sleepy, right?
Oh,
Pisces
I've been
season
asleep.
came and everybody was out.
I've been like that. Past 2 months have been just weird, but I thought it was because I quit coffee. Because when I quit coffee, when you quit coffee, you go through a period of just having no energy until your
Right.
body learns how to use its natural energy again. So I'm finally getting that going just right at the best time. You know what I'm saying? That was my drug for a while, but I'm glad I'm off of that. Um, I'm still
I want to
drinking.
give some love and a shout out of praise and thanks for this other architect over here. You know, uh, the master student, right? One of these days he gonna say master teacher, and I'm gonna clap. But for now, I'll roll with whatever he's saying right now. You
Yeah.
know, our humble brother Crumb of CrumbTV giving us a phenomenal look into the multifaceted mind that music allows. Because music is Pisces is music, right? So you're talking about the music industry and music in Pisces season and using a Pisces as a case study, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the entire industry, whether we looked at the R&B industry or we looked at the hip hop industry, we see the manifestos of the dreamers. Like they pull these things out of the ethers, the
Mm-hmm.
dream world, the dream state, and then present it to the world. Like you pull something out of the invisible sky. That's why I call you the architect. There's no father to his style or his sound. You
Mm-hmm.
pull out of the interruption of the flow of air and make beats.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, so it's an interruption of the flow of air to create sound.
Yeah.
And you make sound palatable to the ear so that the ear could recognize the tonality and vibration and move to it.
Yeah. Well, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and
Mhm.
Neptune is where you get the word tune. You know how
Yeah.
you're listening to some tunes.
Mhm.
You know, let's check out this tune, or you've heard of the Neptunes, because Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is the
Right.
planet of creativity, music, and
Right.
all that stuff like that. So that's where you get it. Also, they got
Yeah.
cartoon. You know what I mean? All of
Right.
these tunes comes from Neptune.
Right.
Shout out to David Flores Animation with a $9.99. He says, "Thank you, Master Student. Your builds are always interesting and great to listen to."
Right.
Shout out to David Flores, who is the official animator of Proverbs Records.
Mm. Mm. Legend.
Yeah.
Legend.
Well, thank you for that honor, man. So what else is going on? What's good with you?
Oh, we're supposed to be talking about hip hop on the
Hmm.
wind down. The next 50 years of hip hop.
That's on Wednesday.
So yeah. So I think we're gonna have a moment where we look back and look forward. So next 50 years of hip hop. So honest to those who have come before us on this vestige and laid down some things. Um, there's a bunch of albums that turned 30 this year. You know, and the one we love turns 27 on AD's birthday.
Yep.
Okay. So
March 10th.
2 days before that, AZ's first album, Do or Die, right?
Hmm?
He got signed off a verse. You know, he got signed off a verse off of Nas's album, off the song, the only feature on the album actually. And you know, his album turns 30 this year, 2 days before your solar return, and you know, Heavy Mental's 27th solar return.
I
So
love that you're tracking everything. You're tracking all the birth dates and you're tracking all the release dates. It's not
it
easy.
matters. It matters because if we're in your season and the sun is in your face, right?
Hmm.
It's an ode to music is the only thing that unites all of the people on the planet.
Wow.
Everywhere. Anywhere you've been, right? Anywhere you've been. Anywhere you've been. Especially if you've been overseas. If
Hmm.
you've been overseas, music brings people together. If you've been to the Caribbean, music brings people together. That universal love that music provides because it's a muse, right? It's a
Mm.
muse. It comes from that muse space. So that
Mhm.
spark of creativity, something you thought of in your mind, you were able to pull it out of your mind, and now the world sees it and they love it.
They
Right?
they say
So,
I was gonna say that's what you take with you when you pass is your memories
right.
and the music.
Right. And as long as someone calls your name, you're not dead.
Mm.
As long as somebody calls your name, as long as somebody remembers you. Go ahead, Crumb. Go
I
ahead.
wanted to add to that when you're dealing with music, the root word is muse, M-U-S-E.
Mhm.
And this is the same word that you're going to see in the word amusement.
Right.
You're also going to see it in the word museum.
Mm-hmm.
A muse is an inspiration. There are 9 muses, and they're all female.
Oh wow.
And I think in um in tandem with the Bobby Hemmett, I keep saying Bobby Hemmett, the Bobby Womack theme, you're going to see where Bobby was led astray by a muse. Some of these muses can be bad as well. So now, I think if you, there is no official number, but ask people who have been to prison for a long stretch. What percentage of men in prison are in prison directly or indirectly behind a woman? Because a woman is a muse.
Wow. That's a good point. Knowledge, did you see the presentation that Crumb gave today?
Yeah, I watched the entire thing. It
Oh
was
wow.
amazing.
What'd you think?
Very, very thorough. And he presents in a way that's very light and very engaging.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy to follow along, and then even some, improv right there in the moment. He catch you in the moment, be like, all right, it's there to make you think. So if this kind of industry can produce all of this greatness, this kind of inspiration, industry can also produce a lot of calamity.
Mm.
I heard y'all talking about the Juicies and, Clive. Clive told Whitney that she's worth more dead to him alive than alive.
Wow.
So look at this entire pantheon of the Juicies. The Juicies took they had the record label industry. How long did Gladys Knight have to fight for her rights? You see what I'm saying? And plenty other people in regards to their masters and, all of these, spaces with people who don't have any talent. Their talent is telling you what your talent is worth, right? And what is valued at. So a tenth, right?
Mm-hmm.
A tenth. So, I heard y'all mention the other Juicy earlier, and Charlemagne asked him, it's that epic little clip from the Breakfast Club. He said, people are issues. He said, talent are issues, right? He says talent, right? And he said, so what about, these other things happening? He says to him, I got people I got to take care of. So he chose his own at the behest of our own. So these creatives that come with this burning message or these burning talents or gifts, right, that they present before the world in all of these facets, they're paid a tenth of what they're worth. And the goal is to try to get as many of that tenth down to a tenth of a tenth of a tenth of a tenth, right?
Mm.
So,
Crumb, go ahead.
Amen, church. Amen, pastor. Preach, teach.
For real.
Okay. What?
so it was very interesting, that we brought up the substance abuse. The substance abuse, quote unquote, the substances were the spaces that were muses that folks used to go into trance to make this music. This music didn't come from a good place, quote unquote. It came from a feel good place.
Mm.
Its sustainability had you to go into a trance because when you heard it rhythmically and sonically, you went into a trance. Music is also something that can alter your state of thinking and being. What you always talk about, AD, that's the only thing that can uh, penetrate your subconscious or your unconscious without your permission, right? So when you look at it like that, there's nothing you can really do. Like you like, I don't know how I know the words to this song. I hate this song, but you know every word of it,
Yeah.
right? So now the supplanting space in regards to that, we start to get into inception with that, right? You start to get into that everybody here, no matter what is going on with their faculties, if I started singing the ABC song, everybody sings it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's a measurement of recollection and intelligence, regardless to age. You get a whole bunch of people in the room and somebody starts singing it. Everybody starts singing
It's in our subconscious file cabinet. I feel we all have file cabinets. Do you know what I mean? That we all have access to in the subconscious, and it's being recorded. We're constantly like a video camera that's just recording stuff, and some stuff stays and some stuff goes in one ear and out the other. So it just depends. But there's stuff that's going in that we're not conscious of, because we're not just one mind. We're many minds. Even the stomach has its own mind, but we have like several minds in our brain. Some will say the left hemisphere, the right hemisphere. Then you've got the cerebrum and the cerebellum, two different minds right there, the higher mind, the lower mind. But we're collecting information without us even realizing. I find the hypnotism stuff to be very interesting. You know, you've seen hypnotists, and they're able to make people. We've all seen them. They came to our schools, remember, and they would hypnotize your friends on stage and stuff. That is amazing to me. And I've never been hypnotized. I don't get how it works, but I think that's incredible a demonstration of how your mind subconsciously can be controlled. Because if they're doing that with such silly stuff, imagine.
Music is woke hypnotism, AD. You ever heard a beat and just zoned out?
Yes. Well, if you notice all the modern beats that are out, even with Future, all the beats
Now think of
are
this.
hypnotizing.
You're a musician also.
They sound like hypnosis.
You ever been on the piano and just you are gone?
Yeah.
You're out of there. You're in the piano, you're gone. Or you seen them jam sessions, they jamming, they're gone, right? Because that's a form of trance, a light form of trance. You can meditate and go, right? You can reach that nirvana, right? That it happens like trance in other places, and then, via some of the psychedelics take you to a whole nother place, right? So if these things didn't exist within your being, it would automatically nullify, would cancel out. So these things exist naturally within you, and breath or certain life circumstances, significant emotional events, all of these things cause some sort of hypnosis, some sort of paralysis, some sort of heightened space of awareness, whatever it is. It happens, So yeah, literally you see it, right? Nobody could do what Jimmy do. They thought it was the drugs. It was just Jimmy, right? Jimmy would go in that place, and I seen Stevie Ray Vaughan try it. I seen a few people, they tried it, but it wasn't Jimmy, right? It wasn't Jimmy. So Janice was rolling with Jimmy, so she understood kind of what that was when they were doing that thing, because y'all mentioned her earlier. So there's a space where music takes you where nobody else can take you, right? If you were on that, shooting up some of that, heroin or something, that's a place where nobody can take you, right? So they said for some of these guys that were doing some of these substances, they're chasing their first high, and they're trying all their best to go back to whatever that moment was. You alluded to sexual relations in that manner, right? You have the endorphins that are released during sex, but also the oxy in the cuddling that happens after, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So literally there's things that are released through these spaces, and they can become, very addictive. They can become very addictive.
Yeah.
Crumb got something on this.
Crumb, go ahead.
Yeah, just to the point of the hypnosis. I was talking to Skynet, and they said when referring to a hypnotic record, the RPM is typically 45 RPMs, as this standard speed is speed for 7-inch vinyl. It's not RPMs, it's BPMs, beats per minute. Oh, I put R by accident. It's beats per minute.
AD was gonna let you finish. He got you.
Hypnotic music can have a tempo ranging from 120 to 150 beats per minute, to 144 to 140 to 144. So there's a science to that. I yield the floor.
100%. And some of the best hip hop songs. Okay, so you said 45 beats per minute, right?
Yeah.
45 times 2 is 90. Some of the best hip hop songs are 90 beats per minute. You've got Gin and Juice, Juicy by Biggie. You got Chronic by Dr. Dre, Nothing But a G Thing, Shoot by Salt and Pepper. I'm not saying these are the greatest songs of all time. I'm just saying they're big. Hey Lover, a lot of great hip hop songs around 90 BPM, 93, 92, 91, and stuff like that. I'm just making that
Read those
correlation.
songs list again.
Boom bap.
Read those songs again. Read those songs.
90 BPM songs: Juicy by Biggie, Gin and Juice, The Chronic, Nothing But a G Thing, Shoot, Hey Lover by LL Cool J, Scenario, Tribe Called Quest, The World Is Yours by Nas. A lot of the boom bap style. Do you know what I'm saying?
Now think about how game changing all these songs were.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't super rich from a production standpoint, but look at the stage that is set and how it's pushed around the world. It was all a dream. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
shoot, better. Like when you go through each song, you remember like Nothing But a G Thing. It's like this and like that, and like it's there. It's one of those things that had you. It takes you back to whatever moment you were, right? You
Yeah.
can remember, like if you like, damn, I heard that song. I remember I was blah 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 blah. Like it takes you there. So that thing is also associated with memory. Now, if you were tuning it to the beats per minute, now think about that right there. So this is what boom bap music could do. You see what I'm saying? So that's how some people they only prefer the boom bap beats. They're like, nah, I don't want to hear none of this other stuff. They're like, where the drums at? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
nah,
I
because
like boom bap a lot.
attuned to it, it's something that's there, right? So
Mhm.
your memory is associated with a memory, which makes it nostalgic for you. So think about what that means, right? I was just talking about these albums, right? I was talking with Kai Zodiac earlier. These albums that come through from that hit these 30-year mark, 27-year mark, they're in that Saturn return era. You see what I'm saying? They're going through their Saturn return. So they might have meant one thing 27, 30 years ago, but what do they mean now? You see what I'm saying? What do they mean now? So go ahead, Crump.
I just want to go through some songs that fit the criterion of what I just read.
Nice. Go ahead.
The World Is Yours. Nas joint 30 years ago, Illmatic. You know what I'm saying? So
Go ahead, Crown.
Songs between 140 and 150 BPMs. Queen, Don't Stop Me Now. Outkast, Hey Ya. Justin Timberlake, Can't Stop the Feeling. The Beach Boys, Good Vibrations. Bruno Mars, Locked Out of Heaven. The Police, Walking on the Moon. Pink, Who Knew? Lady Gaga, Applause. Michael Jackson, Beat It. You know, these are right. These are some within their own genres, respectively, hit records that were within their own right. Could have been hypnotic. Maybe I'm reaching.
I mean, no, it's true because so our heart, the resting heart rate is between 60 and 100. You know what I mean? So usually tracks that are under 100 BPM can somewhat be linked up with your heart rate. You know what I mean? Not exactly. It's just the rest. You know, the resting heart rate is like 60 to 100 BPM. You'll see people who are on at these techno clubs. A lot of the electro, a lot of the EDM is around 128 BPMs, like and it's kind of meant to increase your heart rate. Now your heart rate's not going to really get to that tempo because that would you have to go to the hospital. But like it's kind of meant to like raise your blood pressure and raise your and people who go working out and stuff like that. It's amazing how the subliminal mind will kind of hear a tempo and almost increase their heart rate based on that. You know, when we play songs at the club, they want us to not play slow songs. Do you know what I mean? Because they say if you play slow songs and the club feels like it's slow. You know what I mean? So it's just the power of music right there. You know what I mean? And I told people before on this show, how important your playlists are. You know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
should have a playlist for when you're driving. You should have a playlist for when. Don't just throw on anything because then you're gonna leave yourself open to whatever you're listening to subliminally. You know what I mean? Remember back when we listened to the radio? When you
Yeah.
put the radio on, you were just listening to whatever would be played. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now we all have so much more control. We have music on demand. We have playlists on demand. Go ahead, Crumb.
Just wanted to make a point that those high BPM songs don't necessarily equate to fast. Oh wow, I didn't know the thing was on me. Let me switch camera. But no, I was going to share screen. Well, I mean, I was going to flip my camera.
Explosive.
That was a slow song, but the
Hmm.
BPM were 169. Bum, 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 dun, dun, dun. Bum, 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 dun. That's 169.
Yeah, halftime. Yeah.
Right. So I don't want the family, when we talk about these BPMs being so high, I don't want you to, necessarily think boom, 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 boom. That was more like in the gay club.
Yeah.
But
They don't always check the tempo based on the quarter notes. So 169, if I have that in Serato, I would just downplay it down to 84. Technically, it'd be
That
84.5.
beat was produced by one of the guests of the Podcraft. Y'all remember? Mr. Glove Taylor.
Oh,
My
yeah?
Gemini brother. Yeah.
That's right. I remember when Glove was on. That's
Yeah, he did that. He did Phone Tap. He did Stranded on Death Row. He did Doggy's World. He did a bunch of joints.
We got to get him back on so we could just let him go in because last time he came on, I think everybody was in a debate with Kiramito, or I forgot that the guy who spoke about the Native Americans.
Yeah.
There was a whole debate happening at that time. We didn't really get the chance to talk to Glove that much, but
Yeah, we got to get him back on.
got to get him back on. This year's going to be some great guests, man, especially with the new setup with the couches. It's going to be cool.
hey,
Go ahead.
this summer I'm coming out there, man.
Nice. Do it.
I'm gonna come sit on the couch.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I got a green room now. I got a whole table for the snacks. Do you know what I mean? We've got coffee, we got tea. I got a little fridge. Well, you remember the little fridge, but it's just a lot more of an area for people to, snack and eat, and you can bring whatever food you want. I just don't have a microwave because I don't believe in microwaves.
Got to time it, Crumb. Let me know. I'll pull up. We got to get you in the Killimentary too.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm 10 toes down.
Nice. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a great year. That's awesome. Okay, anything else you guys want to add?
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no.
Let me flip the camera.
What you got?
Listen, family. I'm your humble brother, Crumb, the master student. I am humbled. I'm honored. I'm grateful that the opportunity to come up here and demonstrate before the family. It is not something I take lightly. So I want to thank not only the Podcraft, not only AD, but I will also want to thank Killah Priest himself. It means everything that you guys still, after all the stuff I be saying, even want to bang with me. So
Absolutely.
I'm grateful. And my only request, and I'm sorry, my the hostess with the mostest. Shout out to Knowledge Born. I'm very grateful for you as well, brother. In real time. So, with that said, gentlemen, I'm going to depart ways with you. Are we closing out now?
We're about to go into the song promotion segment.
Okay, yeah. So, because I'm over here on a different coast, so it's a different time for us. So,
got you.
I'm gonna go on a plantation tomorrow, so I'm gonna turn it in. But my request, gentlemen, let's do it again.
Absolutely. Yeah, and thanks for your presentation. We appreciate that. I'm using a special software now to create clips. I don't know if you guys have seen that. We've been putting out a lot more shorts lately.
Love it.
So it's easier for me to now finally clip good parts of the episode a lot faster than I used to before. So we might be able to create a couple clips from today's show. So that'll be cool.
Brothers, I want to leave you the exact same way I came to you.
How's that?
In peace.
Hey, that's what's up. Shout out to CrumbTV. And give me all the links. I'm going to put the usual links up. But if you have any other links you want to add or anything, I don't know if you got like, merchandise or whatever you're pushing and stuff like that, we'll put that in the description box.
I'm always grateful. Love you, brother.
Absolutely. You too.
Right.
All right. Knowledge Born, anything else you want to say before we go into the song promotion segment?
Shout out to Cyrock and shout out to the mothership of the priesthood, the legendary Ty Phoenix, performing out there in LA on the rooftop. You understand? I understand Dave Flores, Rasul, David J. Blazer and the crew, everybody went out there to see her perform. So I mean, shout out to that happening, and shout out to Killah Priest out there, seeing them by the step pyramids. You understand what I'm saying? Out there, stepping in the name of love, brother love out there, stepping in the name of love.
Yo,
I think that was
I saw that.
two phenomenal opportunities happening simultaneously at the same time, both of them on their own altitude. It's a beautiful thing to see that convergence happening out here.
No, it looks like
Wu-Tang's on tour, right? Wu-Tang's on tour, Master
Yeah.
Killer's on tour. There's a lot of things happening right now. A lot of things happening. And rest in peace, my bad, AD. Rest in peace to Roberta Flack. Transition, I believe it was today at 88 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, somebody who gave us the Killing Me Softly, right? And so many of these other precious jewels. So again, as long as somebody calls your name, you live forever.
That's what's up. No, I was just saying it looked like Priest had a really good show.
Yeah.
If y'all not following Priest on Instagram, I don't know what you're doing. Y'all gotta make sure you follow him on there, cause he posted some clips from the show that he had out there. Let's see this.
Oh, Lord Da Vinci was there also. I think Guam, they say Guam was there also. I know Lord Da Vinci was there, and I know Dave Flores was there. Yeah.
I'm trying to bring it up on screen, but damn, it's hard the way this setup is right now. Hold on, let's see. Got the photos up there. He's got the videos. Okay, hold on. Let me get this set up. Because this is gonna.
Out there.
Yeah.
Iron.
In Mexico, that's crazy.
Right. Right.
Okay, hold on,
So,
yo.
Music is a universal language, and hip hop is the alchemical love blend and marriage of all of those musics all together.
Yes, sir. Okay, here we go. I got it on screen. Boom.
Yeah.
That looks cool, man. He's got his logo really huge up there.
Right. And they were promoting this thing. They were promoting, you on the socials, you see them like they were promoting like crazy for months about
Yeah.
this, concert, about this performance right here. And the reception he received, I know he's gonna go into it, talk about it.
Yeah, I know he's. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I know he's gonna go in when he's here.
Slow process. 1 9 2 10 4 from robbers. Go on my boiling kettles. Like we struck all of this metal. Disappeared the addicts. Like we flirt backward. Like we surf backwards. Till we throw dirt on that casket and that's it. Slow process. 1 9 2 the St. Anthony. Burn a rosemary. For friends and family. For those buried. For all humanity. Souls heavy. Ride the life like an old Chevy. Look at the world through their rear view. And honk your horn till they hear you. So after you're gone, this tribute. For all the pain that you pay on the St. Anthony. Burn a rosemary. For friends
Try
and
next one.
family.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
His stage presence is so immense, right? You know, he got a calm sort of spirit, right? He get on that microphone, he goes into a whole nother place. You know, it's a spirit that fills up the room. Like Old Dirty, it's a spirit that fills up the room. Priest on stage, I was so honored to be on stage in that space. It was so vast. I had to get off the stage. I had to get in the crowd. I wanted to be in the crowd like the fan that I am. You understand? Like I wanted to be I was in the crowd with a bunch of people. I had my arms around them and we were just going crazy. Like it was a whole epic thing, right? So he gives a show out of this world. He gives a show out of this world, an experience out of this world. It's something magical to see every time. So I know it had to be something. If he's horse, he gave everything.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? He gave everything. So that means that the love that he received was so immense that he had to match it with his whole being. You know what I mean? So, man, remarkable.
I asked him how it was, and he said it was incredible.
Yeah, life-changing. Life-changing.
We'll do, I'm going to try to gather the clips so we could do a whole thing next time to review how the show went and everything.
Right.
Cause I'm sure somebody documented the whole thing.
Yeah, I would have loved to have get got some of that live reaction from some of the people, that I didn't take telemetry as well.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
The whole Wu-Tang come out this month. We're gonna turn up the lights, turn up the lights. Everybody throw them up. Are you ready? Hold them up. Mexico City. Get ready to rock with Killah Priest.
I did this on stage, AD. I was out of breath, almost passed out. I did the go first.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
Look at that energy.
Yo, I judge wisely as another never. Lajit between two villains of I leave my own peace. It's like this dolphin piece.
Baby throws her speed.
As my mind rolls around, lines of vision, memory is the film. I'm a sex some town, but they can't tell above now.
Above cloud.
Can't put it cloud. Remember how long it came. 30 pounds spread, push the fence, and go time like a grip. I'll pay for fence, I leave a spit, like an ass cheeks, like pussy the woo, drag, woo, 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 woo. It's on your brain. When I say killer, y'all say priest. Killer, 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 killer.
Yo, that's dope.
Look at that love, man. Like they probably don't even speak English. You know what I'm saying? You think about it like that, AD. Like they probably don't even speak English, but they know all of these.
They know the words.
Songs, man. Like and they feel it in their heart, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So epic.
That's cool. Let's see this one here.
Yo, we here at the Yona One store, Killah Priest, live in the flesh, out here. We're at Mexico City. Come meet me at the meet and greet, Killah Priest at Photo Havana tonight, 8 o'clock. I'll be there in Square. We're gonna be doing all the classics. We're gonna do everything for you. Man, Photo Havana, 8 o'clock. Killah Priest, Wu-Tang Clan, here, now. Come on. I know what it is.
Man, he's coming back with some nice new threads too. You already know. That's cool, man.
Oh, y'all was talking about that line earlier. Two pillars of ivory.
Oh yeah, because that album cover showed that guy lounging between those two pillars.
Right.
It's great.
So those two pillars is, what you stand on, right? Or your two columns that have you to stand upright. And in your mind, your left and right hemisphere. But it's like a double, triple entendre, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a thing where they were joking on each other, right? And Priest said he wasn't the joker. You understand what I'm saying? He jokes. You hear him now, like he's very funny, but he wasn't joking. He was so hungry and so dedicated, so serious. He didn't have no time for nothing else. Like, he put his all into what he did. So, there was, cracking jokes on him, and he went into the booth and he spit this. So the joke was on them now. I judge wisely, as if nothing ever surprised me. So he's like, I peeped you, or I looked at you, I saw you, stirring up the hornet's nest. Y'all wanted to play like that. I play like this. I play with this microphone. I play with this pen. I judge wisely, as if nothing ever surprised me. Lounging between two pillars of ivory. So these two pillars of ivory represent this purity and his mind in regards to the solace of him having real intentions on what he's doing. You see what I'm saying? So he got the extreme focus. So this is where my focus is. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Others act subtle, but they fragile above clouds. So when we really go there in the battle and we engage with this microphone, all of a sudden, y'all start messing up. You see what I'm saying? I'm lively. My dome piece is like building stone in Greece. So his mind is strong. It's like that space of looking at those building stones. They were perfect, right? You didn't see them unless they were, it was a process of perfection with every building stone. I'm lively. My dome piece is like building stones in Greece. Upon the deep, from ancient thrones I speak. So I'm not even talking about now. I'm talking about forever. You see what I'm saying? I'm lively. My dome piece is like building stones in Greece. Upon the deep, from ancient thrones I speak. I'm overwhelmed as my mind roams around. I'm even messed up about what's coming from my own mind. You see what I'm saying? What's coming from my own pen. So, this was, lyrical sportsmanship at its best. So, he's a channeler and he gets, deep. You see what I'm saying? Others like subtype, but they're fragile above clouds. They act wild, but couldn't budge a crowd. They act wild, but they couldn't budge a crowd. No matter how wild they get. No matter how loud they get, throw they growl and spit, clutch they fist and throw signs like a grip. So the people that people like, so it went from, okay, who was around to just people in general. This is what y'all like, no matter how loud they get, right? Barking, screaming, whatever they're doing, right? On this microphone, whoever it is, because he was a battle MC first, whoever you go get, I'll leave him split. You understand what I'm saying? I'll leave him split. Like, either their heads messed up or they don't want to rhyme no more. You see what I'm saying? So that it was him at his finest. This is why you hear this comparison all the time, AD, with old priest versus new priest, right?
Yeah.
I got a case for either one of them. The Byzantine king was somebody different than who this is now. But either way, it's still him. It's still him in his fullest. You see what I'm saying?
He does. He seems to reinvent himself.
Right.
Very often. So you'll see, aside from the Rocket to Nebula,
right,
and then you'll listen to the Forest of the Happy Ever After. Whole other vibe, and then you're in a whole other universe when it comes to like the five Fantastic Supermen.
Right.
That's cool. That's great.
I've seen him wreck out some MCs in person.
Oh yeah,
it's a different thing. Yeah. It's a different thing. So he kind of took it light in that verse in regards to that. Things happening up close, personal is a different kind of thing. So it's a different kind of hunger that's associated with it. And, he's also a Leo. So it's like, you're not going to outshine him either. How you shine the sun?
There's a difference. There's a difference between a rapper and an artistic MC.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, well, this is an artist. Like, he just painted a picture with words.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just rhymes. But again, I don't want to speak to the choir because the audience already knows.
That's what I hear.
Yes, sir. But I love your insight. You definitely are able to interpret his lyrics like scripture.
Yeah, because that's how he presents them. He presents them, from in his own psychic world. We're all part of his psychic world.
Mm. Solar Fact says Priest changes but remains the same though.
Right. Yeah, we get other layers. When we're ready for them. And then if we're not, whenever we get ready for them, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So some people have favorite albums, favorite songs, favorite things. You see what I'm saying? Like what he said in Brother's Letter about the guy at the concert.
Mm.
He said you stood up for knowledge. You see what I'm saying? You stood up for knowledge. Priest stood up for knowledge. Like a lot of things was happening. He could have been for either way, this way, that way. He said, put his kids through college. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a different kind of thing because your words, stood up for knowledge. Like, so in this space of where music is going, and that's, part of something what we're discussing on Wednesday, the next 50 years of hip hop, when it was something there was a need to take this to its next evolutionary stage. Some started the race, but they didn't finish. So now this is a time where an era of music, of positivity, an era of music of love, an era of music of resurrection is here. And it's going to be here as long as possible, for as long as period, because this is where the people want to feel it, they want to know it, they want to experience it. So this is the greatest time to be in that space where you're creating something of worth and value, something that you want to have for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well said. All right. Well, once again, for those watching, make sure you all tune in on Wednesdays for the wind down featuring Knowledge Born. That's what's up. All right, are you ready for the song promotion segment?
So.
Let's do it. By the way, who are those lovely ladies behind you? I wanted to ask you that.
That's my theme music right there.
I know that's not TLC.
Phenomenal artist actually made this. She made this for me. Like she made this entire thing from my ask. I asked her to make something, and this was her representation of what I made. Because that's my platform's name, and 3,400 episodes. It's really like 3,600 now, but this was a commemorative space. Like this shirt is a commemorative space with my likeness on it for my 9-year anniversary, 3,400 episodes and counting. So a beautiful piece of art that was designed with me in mind. So shout out. She's a phenomenal singer also. Her name is Ashe Kenyatta. And she's a phenomenal vocalist, singer, and she also did this artistic representation. And I was like, I needed it. I needed something. And
it's fitting. It's good for you too, especially with the screens on the left and the microphone. Like, it's very Gemini.
Right.
Musical.
Shout out to Hammer Facts right there. He got it. He's like, I'm gonna get you sucker. Yeah, that's my theme music.
Oh,
exactly.
what?
Right, BDP, right at the end with KRS-One.
Okay.
Backstage, translate. Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I haven't even set up the viewer count. I have no idea how many are watching right now. It's like over 100 or something. Okay, that's what's up. Are you ready for the song promotions?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it. Here we go.
Song promotions. You send in your music, we play it live on the show for Killah Priest and the world to hear.
That's right. As y'all know, even though Priest ain't here, he's still watching and listening. So let's go.
And judging wisely.
Yeah. First submission that we got for today's song promotion segment is an artist by the name of the Illmarillion from Minnesota. And the song is called Hrick Hrossa. I hope I said that right. And let's go. Give me a second, y'all. Got a new setup. Oh, I remember this logo. 1 second. All new setup here. Okay. Let's start with this one. One sec. Almost ready. Gonna do it like this. I'll probably just adjust as we go. Here we go.
Oh, I can't see. What? Oh, I can't see at all. I know my eyes are open. Everything's like a nice orange colour.
The Illmarillion spill vermilion, tetrahedronic phonics. Yo, I spit fire, then embedded in heaven's onyx. See these starlit scripts, inscribe the night sky with sonnets. Then penetrate the firmament like comets. Watch while I revolve around the center of all knowledge. The cosmic logic, God the Father's long-awaited song incarnate. Christ, the brutalized Killah Priest from the ether. He's that icosahedron of life for all believers. That's living water, his wisdom runs where the rivers flow. His rhythms erode, the coldest, hottest stone, sorta like my own. Wash soul from toe to dome to the very marrow of my bone. Why does he know? Then he sang a song of sin who sprung, covered me with flesh and put breath in my lungs.
So you're telling me you slept through one of the greatest catastrophes to ever happen on Earth, and you survived it?
Yeah, what?
The comet that killed the dinosaurs. You slept through it.
Yeah.
Some of it, cultural. Yo, turn the mic up.
Yeah, I can do that. I just hate writing. I hate writing hooks. I hate doing all
Seven
that.
galactic lords. Seven galactic lords. Stand back to back with war. Above the clouds, where the sounds wage war. Sprinkle metaphors leave out an astronomer's scar. These hidden images you can't discard. Strike hard. Seven galactic lords. Stand back to back with war. Above the clouds, where the sounds wage war. Sprinkle metaphors leave out an astronomer's scar. These hidden images you can't discard. Strike hard. Hrick Hrossa. I'm Mercury with my fifth chakra. The Martian prophet thundering from Thocandra. I sow mantras, grow the flow monstrous. Usopp can vouch to a drop, mind a rhinoceros. I loaded my slingshot with the root of Jesse. When the thing pops, you know it's over already. I went from Capri to Kepler. Now I grip the mic like Ulamon scepter and craft worlds like Vic Vaughn, the emperor. Never could settle for less than the best rhymes. The end times are nigh, so I perfect mine. I feed 5-4 songs, and you will fold the rest. Heed my flow, sir, or you will fail the test. I'm unimpressed by men with no chest, unable to digest the hidden message in the sense. Flesh without rest, a pestilent stench mixed with the wretched scent. So here's some orbit for your treacherous breath. Next.
That's the sunset, Donny. Oh, it is too. Oh, wow. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's cool. I felt like I was watching a movie with all that.
Right.
That was cool. Man. They submitted last week also. The Illmarillion from Minnesota.
From Minnesota.
Straight
That's what's
fire.
going down in Minnesota.
What'd you think of that?
I love the alchemical blends, man. It was a beautiful montage. It was a montage to their spiritual beliefs, what's going on, and also a montage to hip hop, layered with some funky sort of sounds, right? So it was a beautiful alchemical blend of the marriage and the alchemy of what hip hop provides. So shout out to those masterminds out there in Minnesota getting busy right there.
For real, that's what's up.
I was trying my best to get all of the movie references. You know what I'm saying? Like I heard a little bit of Snatch in there and some of the other joints. I was trying to hear like, yeah, it was real clever.
That's right, because you know your movies.
Yeah, I was over there bopping and listening to the lyrics. I heard like a Gangstar reference, Above the Clouds. So again, we love to hear students hip hop and those who aren't afraid to experiment with sound, so they push the envelope. It's like, all right, you hear this hip hop, you hear the cinematic space, you hear this funk sort of sound, and all of these things all together. I think they did a phenomenal job with hitting all of the points. And you can't go wrong, with some English sounding cats. You know what I'm saying? Interludish, with a little bit of skit kind of factor in between, and then, some dope hooks.
For real. That's what's up. Great submission. All right. And just so everyone knows, all the links to these artists will be in the description after the show. A couple hours after the show. All right, let's keep it moving.
Noise.
That Key and Peele. He's like Key and Peele.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Next up, we've got an artist named Tim Heaven from Monterey County. Song is called Ghost in the Code. The MP3. Let's go.
From the dawn of dust to circuits of light, from the hands that carved to the keys that type, patterns repeat and yet we call it sight. Is it destiny or just rewritten lines? We were scribes in the temple, now we type on the screen. Exiled from Eden, still chasing a dream. That fruit fell twice, first a flesh then to code. Now knowledge ain't wisdom, it's just data overload. From hieroglyphs etched to the scripts of the priests, to the modern day Moses encrypting beliefs. Babel collapsed, but the towers came back. Now they rise from the servers where memories stack. From Rome's descent to the reach's demise, every empire burns when the truth revives. Erase the scrolls with the cycle remains. Digital pharaohs just rebranded the chains. Are we ghosts in the code or prophets reborn? Breaking the cycle or scripting the storm? Rewriting Genesis, caught in the tide. Will love break the loop or is fate hardwired? A-I-O Elohim, who's writing the laws? Neon commandments flicker, rewriting the cause. From Solomon's scrolls to the silicone priests, we trade wisdom for comfort, convenience for peace. The prophets spoke in the dust of the past. Now the words glitch through a single that crashes. Sinai's lost in the echoes of screens. Moses don't part seas, he just filters the feed. And Cain's still roaming, now pressing delete. Brother to brother, it's history's beat. Birthrights are bartered for likes and control, but a soul with no purpose is a body that's cold. Are we ghosts in the code or prophets reborn? Breaking the cycle or scripting the storm? Rewriting Genesis, caught in the tide. Will love break the loop or is fate hardwired? Isaiah saw visions, new heaven, new earth, but we monetize souls, measuring worth. The garden is gone, but the greed remains. A paradise lost, now wired in veins. Templar secrets ain't buried in stone. They encrypt them in ledgers, controlling the throne. They hid the truth, then they sold us a lie. Made us believe we could reach past the sky. Every ascent leads back to the fall. History don't echo, it sinks through the walls. Every kingdom fell with a whisper and lie. Every war, every fall, just a blink in time's eye. Are we climbing forward or just treading the past? A future without love is the fate that won't last. So here's a question, no answers in stone. Are we advancing or just rewriting an old tome. A moment, a choice can shift the grand design. One breath, one love can rewrite the divine. Are we ghosts in the code or prophets reborn? Breaking the cycle or scripting the storm? Rewriting Genesis, caught in the tide. Will love break the loop or is fate hardwired?
Wow. That's a real interesting beat. I'll start with that. First of all, that's a real interesting beat. I don't know where he got it. It's kind of has like this dubstep stuff going on. It's very progressive, you know, so that gives you a lot of creative outlet. I can hear what you're going for. I can hear how you're going to be trying to be big and epic and dramatic with it, which is cool. I can see why you're like Priest, you know what I mean? Obviously. Storytelling kind of, and you've got this dramatic sound. You just the vocals are really loud on that beat though. Do you know what I mean? You're really overbearing on the vocals, and that's in the mix. So you definitely need to have that mix and mastered. I can tell it's not mix and mastered because you want those vocals to kind of sit into the beat. Right now they're just like layered on top, and it's kind of it's overbearing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to get that mix and mastered. That's what I would want to hear first. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, there's a place you can do that. It's at studioad.pro. You can get it mixed and mastered online, and the first track is free. After that, a mix and master is only $100 per song. So check that out. Links in the description. But yeah, get that mix and mastered. It'll make a huge difference. What you think, Knowledge Born?
That's why you are the technical expertise master. Like, this is one of the greatest reasons for this segment. So people don't know what they hear until you point out what's heard, right? You see what I'm saying? And his delivery and his content was too important to be competing back and forth with the beat. It was a very important message, right? It was a very important message. It was very poetic. It was very big. It was very epic, right? So in that case, I think if the beat was lower or something kind of in the background, if you wanted to go big, you know, have that sound of that voice like some roaring water, like use your voice, your true instrument, and your content to, you know, be something that's large and pronounced. I think he might have did that, and then the beat came. I don't know if they were there at the same time.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like because the beat kind of has like an orchestral type of where it gets louder and then it gets quieter and then it gets louder. He's gonna have to create envelopes to where his vocals also will start to go low and then go louder with the beat, and you know what I mean? That's like envelopes that has to be installed because there's gonna be times where he needs to be lower and then louder. So that's where
he got one of those Boondock Saints voices, man. Like it's too epic. Like, you know, the father from Boondock Saints, we'll pour out rivers of blood for thee. Like, you know what I mean? He got one of those. Like, he's got one of those. So I mean, it's important. You know, those things are important. I think he was talking about Isaiah 65 in there, and Isaiah 65 says, "See, I will create new heavens and a new earth. The former things will not be remembered, nor will they come to thy mind." Like, you see what I'm saying? So it's like it's a thing where he sounds like the prophet Isaiah, you know, reminding the people, this last reminder, like, okay, come away from those things that you think are, you know, so important and got your mind boggled up in there. You know, you traded your peace, you traded your sanity, you know, you basically traded your being for these things that are finite. You know, things that are finite and things that are no worth of value. And he did it in a rhythmic way, he did it in a poetic way. It's just the presentation is kind of detracting from what the message and intent was.
That's what's up. But great submission, cool track.
Yeah.
Definitely on your way to something great there. I like his passion. I can hear what he's going for. You know what I mean? And if he just keeps going, it's gonna get there. You know, but that mix will make a big difference.
Yeah, Ghost in the Cold, man. That's a good one. I mean, shout out to the guy's name is what? Tim Heaven, right?
Yeah, you remember. That's right.
Great guy. Great, great.
Great submission. Okay, next up, we've got an artist named Mr. Misk and Chromiatos from Staten Island, New York. The song is called Ghost Mantis.
Okay, Shallon Allen.
Yeah, and I'll give the additional credits after. So here we go.
The Invaders.
The Ghost Mantis gets ready and
It's that
strikes.
semiotic flow, picture body with calicos, ripping right through the clavicle, lift you off with the latitude. We slapping rappers that acting like bitches with attitude. My pen game is fire, every rhyme is flammable. I ain't good with math, but I'll split your body in two. Hold a 38 that drive, landing on his front stoop. Cash rules, everything around me like I'm Raider Ruckus. And I split the crew in half like the Dirty Dozen. Maybe my bitch more crazy than Shady's mother. It got me bouncing off the walls like they made of rubber. I fuck your baby mother locked up in a dirty dungeon, and then I lift you off your feet like a space abduction. Stick you for half the cash like a cheating husband. We dipping Dutches, feeling dusted with no discussion. Your crew get busted or concussion, you out of function. And fuck a stylist, we getting fly on any budget.
Mantises do not just suck the blood of their victims, they slice them up, one piece at a time.
Hey yo, I move like a mantis, but I bathe with apes. I got a page to bring the razor back like Jake the Snake. I blow smoke in a coward's face, raise the stakes, put the magnet to your ice box, you can go and save the date. You question the God, I got you testing fate. I'll take that cross off your head like you Kevin Gates. You talk about your plugs, but you never generate. If the job's not done, we never celebrate. Navigate through the instrumental, let me demonstrate. Your girl gravitates to my mental when I defecate. No skull fucking on the first, there's no second date. Always double bag it, cause I ain't trying to catch a case. It will take a couple shots for me to wreck your face. Rich or poor, doesn't matter, I will have your section 8. Never have I skipped a beat, let me set the record straight. Vaders of the universe, crash land, resonate. Mister Invaders of the universe, Johnny.
That was dope. I like it. I don't really have anything critical to say about that. Hold on, I'm gonna bring it back real quick. Shit, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Hold up. Yeah, that was cool. I like the production quality. The beat was good. The mix was good. The video's cool. Flows were good. That was well done. That was good production. I like it all the way around. That's fire track. Matter of fact, I'm finna subscribe. They uploaded that 3 days ago, and it has 5.6 thousand views. So these guys are professionals. Mr. Misk and Chromiatos, Ghost Mantis official video. Filmmaker was Tyler Harrison, produced by Johnny Slash. That's cool. Staten Island? That's what's up. I like it. I'm a fan. What you think?
Likewise, I agree. You know, Shaolin Island is out there. You know, they're out there Shaolining. You see what I'm saying? Like they're out there Shaolining. It wasn't too much off of the top with the visual. You know how people try to go way overboard. It was literally like, okay, we got this together, and the command presence on the microphone, the delivery. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a mantis, but I bathe with apes. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I know that this isn't my environment, but I'm here. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm going hard. So it was like literally their voice was a sword, and it's they swinging their swords. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't never be mad at that. Like they did, they put the alien stuff in there. They put all kinds of little things in there, but it was really like a marriage, right? He said comatose, right? So comatose is like you laid out, right? So comatose is like, now I'm putting this, boom. You see what I'm saying? I'm laying the mic out, I'm laying the track out, whatever, boom, 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 and this kind of thing, this kinship they got, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's like literally they've been doing this for a long time. You can feel it.
You
right?
can hear
you
it,
can feel
yeah.
synergistic. Like, all right, you doing, I'm doing this. So they're each other's, basic support system on this thing right here. That kind of presence is something that's invaluable, and they know when to leave. Right? It wasn't 5 minutes. Right? It wasn't 5 minutes. It was, they compacted in the time based upon a listenership. Like they took us on the ride, took us on the journey. It's like, all right, boom, we out of here. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it sounded great. The production was super tight, and it was exciting. It was exciting. I'm like, oh, all right, okay.
Yeah.
What's going on? Like, all right. So yeah, it was all of the things you wanted to hear on the hip hop record.
Yep. Chat room liked it. Good authenticity. Minty Hotep says solid production, and she's critical. She's a hip hop head, so that's a good compliment right there. So that's what's up.
When they go with these things you got to figure out. They do something clever, like a little play on the words. You suggest artists all the time. Make it something where either people think or it's simple. You see what I'm saying? It's one or the other. You can't have them doing both, right? So, yeah, this was dope, man.
Yeah, solid. Real solid. Let's go. Next up, we've got an artist here named DJ Blazer featuring Rasul Allah 7 with a song called All Alive, Hive in 25, produced by M. A Saint from Port of Los Angeles. Here we go.
I'm taking everybody, and we feeling the pain together. Ignoring the drugs and the lies. We know better. Ignoring the drugs and the lies. We know better.
We do it live in 2025.
Looking back at life and my ex-wife before her baby mama with the drama, but like my heavenly father. Forgiveness is love, understanding is wisdom. When it comes to raising a kid and protecting the children, it's never such thing as too many cooks in the kitchen. We all put the work in together for the perfection. Divine intervention comes through like paradigms that shifted, like the rhymes I slid in with perfect when I mix it. But back to the biggie hit for the children. Same reason men are no longer in season. The evil we seeing in the court system. They want the air that I'm breathing out, sneezing with the rhythm, spasmataz as I come through with the jazz. They tripping, and God I trust when I bust it, protecting my soul from those who justify sinning like it's nothing. Success, come monetary gains, not being my main thing. Taking everybody, and we feeling the pain together. Ignoring the drugs and the lies. We know better. We know better. We know better.
It live in 2025, the face of the Golden Falcon. Yo, Rasulullah makes a law, and 7 bones, 5 salats, 17 rakats. So when I make dua, I pull out my Glock, you better pay a cop before I put your head on a chopping block. Clock spins counterclockwise, time stops on my GPS satellite watch. The solar cellular controls my Nikola Tesla truck, and God we trust, but you niggas believe in Elon Musk. Blood and lust, the walking dead calls out the earth's crust. The sun spontaneously combust. The melanin within my olive tone skin can never rust. You feel the rush of the force of an elephant tusk. Smell the musk of angel dust. Put your brains in the camel clutch. I clutch the mic like a python crush. Now close the chapter. This is the final rapture. Rasulullah 7, the face of the Golden Falcon. King Blazer, the Demon Slayer. Do it live in 2025. Protect your neck, protect your neck. And we out of here, 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 we out of here.
That's cool. Not a bad mix. Sounded cool. I like that beat. It's always cool to hear Rasul. Rasul has he changes up his style every now and then. You know what I'm saying? I like it. Yeah, I like it. What you think?
DJ Blaze, I'm gonna put you in the headlock and give you one of them nuggies. Do they still give nuggies? The little nuggie?
You know, I'm not sure what the kids are doing nowadays, but
This was a classic arrangement. So I think if you was gonna take that approach, DJ Blazer, you should have put Rasul first. If you was gonna take the approach that you took to rhyme on there, Rasul should have been first. Even though him closing out the song is great, and it was an epic Rasul verse. If you were going to kind of free verse, rhyme, vent a little bit, that could have been that's like Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. You understand what I'm saying? Like so it's just like it's literally at the end, it's like 2 minutes of Resin saying whatever you wanted to say. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, there's a place for it. There's a place for it where it works. And, you know, before that, what's the other joint on Cal? It'll come back to me. But these are examples where, you know, they found a way to fill up the space for what it is. Like the production was a dope production. Zoo came with an ill verse. If you wanted to do that, you could have did it at the end. That's just me in my mind from the placement perspective. I ain't saying there was nothing wrong with you did what you did, how you did what you did. Just the placement.
It could be good for marketing to put your feature first.
Yeah, I would have just rolled with it. Like, all right, we're already sold at this point. You see what I'm saying? We're already sold at this point, and then you can do what you want to do to add a different context to it, right? It's like two halves of the same whole. So you hear Rasul and you hear this. You see what I'm saying? And you know, and I love the play on the words, you know, because it's Allah, you know, that's Rasul, right? All live, right? All live in 2025. So it's like live, hive, Killer Bee, like all of the play on everything that's going on. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's really 25, you know, Rasulullah 7, right? 2 and 5 and 7. So it's like you put all of the elements there to have it be great. And so, you know, make it epic. Make it epic.
Yeah. Fire, good advice. Let's see. I think we got another one here by David Blazer. Yep, this one is called Wolves of Fall Street. Wolves closing in. All right, let me set this up. I think this one's a YouTube. I had to adjust for the short. This one is also a vertical video. Okay, so we're good here. All right, here we go.
Alleviated my rectum, left them at the Irvine spectrum. Plans deviate like septum. Life moves in many directions. Head-on collisions into intersections. Life's a bunch of clues, then we choose to start connecting. More than the grains of sand, vibrate with kinetic. Plays only the best shit. Things is getting better. Whatever, don't get comfy. Get off your ugly and stop chasing the dragons. Stop worshiping Bob Scott. Gone with the cheddar. Let me introduce myself, then call me the shredder. You better start living with a purpose. Resentment of head trips make you feel worthless. Getting nervous. It's fair to say you don't even pray, but I hope you heard this. Your head is gone. Surveillance on building 7, but not a single camera on my Pentagon. Not just improbable, physically impossible. Yet it's never been debated. You heard it from David, even though you hate it. Squirrels on their nuts, operation still don't initiate it. Taking our wealth without using a shank stick. Hip hop videos of Illuminati, spouses and fiancés employed at the the Silicon Valley Bank. Shit, oh yeah, duck with your eyes on the famous rappers, the Beyonce's. Can't even see this, and if you did, fair to say, the second coming of Jesus. Nothing's in the moment, obsessed in the past, and paradigm shifts. What the fuck is this? Change it all past and anxiety from the future that's bad. Today's a bucket of piss, it's sad. You better listen to this. Tens of billions of our money went missing. While you neglected, this is how y'all also neglected your children. How are you not concerned after being burned? You ready, Betty? You ready to learn? A righteous life guided by the light. Learn discernment, guided by the light. As atoms came crashing at the speed of light, colliding that CERN shit, making our numerology bend. And now Earth is tipping even faster towards the end. These sheep think that they the cause of the stress from God's eyes perspective. From singing the message, it was clear it was time for man to repent. Angels heaven sent on a mission, shipped off after being tipped off. Hella bent, Captain tell a kid, talk to deaf dumb ears, pissed off. Everything was evident. Without a God, what God is here for men to fear. No one's buying cause no one's selling it. Generation Z flexing the tech and testing OGs. Me, they messing with me to see. It's all irrelevant. They all fucked, even the one that's celibate. They ain't hella lit when I give a shit more than I should. Can my hood defend the kingdom and bringing them the goods? Spreading the news, they still confused. Not doing the thing as if it was the thing to do. And even if they knew, but they don't, so they really won't. Not now, not ever. However, I have something that's better. Support the Wu-Tang Clan cause they for the children. R.I.P. ODB, you're gonna live forever. As we fighting these deities trying to erase him since 93. Until then, the message I send is this. Tell all of your friends, repent from their sins. Repent from their sins. These sheeple think they people. These sheeple think they people. But can't see the wolves closing in. Can't see the wolves closing in. See the wolves closing in. Can't 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 see the wolves closing in.
All right, you're gonna go first. Knowledge Born, what you think?
It should have been broken up into 3 verses.
Hmm.
He had me in the, and it was in the zone. I was like, okay, all right, yeah. Then it's like, all right, wait, what's going on? Like, you needed some sort of breakdown in between. I think it was 3 verses, but it was like a run-on sentence in there. So it's like, all right, after a while, I'm trying to follow and go and hear where you at and what you're saying. And I'm rolling with you. DJ, you know I'm rolling with you, right? I'm rolling with you. Like I'm hearing the things, right? So, everybody's after, even the ones who celibate. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like when these wolves don't care, like I'm hearing the message, I'm hearing the methodology, but there's a reason for some sort of hook, some sort of breakdown. You see what I'm saying? To give people time to digest what you're saying and get ready for what you're about to say. So some sort of something. Even the little thing that was like the kind of scratch thing that you could have put that in between, earlier on to have a lead in to give time for people to prepare for what's next. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, you there conceptually, and then the visuals help add another feel and effect. You see what I'm saying? So it's like all the simulation, all of this, the sheeple think they're people type of situation. Like I'm there with you. I'm there, but give the listener a chance to roll with you on this, journey that you taking us on. You know what I mean? So that was really what I got for that.
Ben Frank says he likes the beat. but he was also lost. Yeah. Let's see. We've got some fire here. Minty Hotep likes the beat also. Yeah, definitely an improvement on his lyrics. The arrangement, I can understand. I agree with you with that on the arrangement. His delivery is so much better. Like he definitely he knows how to deliver it. Now he knows his sound and everything. He's definitely a hip hop head, at least when it comes to that, because you can hear how much fun he's having. You know, the mix and master was great because I did it. He submitted that into Studio AD. That was a mix and master of mine right there. Had a good time mixing and mastering it, so it was fun to do that. So I'll have to say that mix and master was outstanding. And besides that, it was overall cool. You know what I mean? I don't have anything too critical outside of everything else. Like what you said, I think was pretty constructive criticism. But he keeps submitting better and better stuff. So,
right.
You know, that's the cool thing about these song promotions is that, you know, even though there's like a certain amount of people watching, everyone's seeing the progress when they retune in and they watch these song promotion segments, you know. But yeah, you've got Yahe beat. Raja Karis pointed out it was a Yahe beat. That's right. And Jay Bland says
Yahe on the beat. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right. Yahe was on that beat. Jay Bland says, I want to do some songs with you, David. Ooh, see, he's got collaboration requests happening already. So that's cool. I'm glad you say that it bumps, David. That's the mastering. The mastering makes sure that it bumps. You know what I'm saying? The low end is so key in doing that, and I have ways of doing it because sometimes the headphones can not give you the bounce back that a subwoofer would, but I don't want to get too technical on how I do it, but there's a way to make it so that if you put it in any sound system, it's going to be great, especially if there's a subwoofer. So you get that real bump. But yeah, that was cool. Hank McGurk says, women walk around celibate. Oh, he's on a different topic. Living irrelevant, the most benevolent king communicating through the dream. Okay. He's got bars.
That's RZA. That's
oh, okay.
Song Tragedy.
Okay. That's what's up. All right. Yeah, David Blazer says whip approved. That's right. It's a great track. Yeah, you can. I mean, if you don't.
That's impossible. My bad. Use another 5 elements to search for the high intelligent. Women walk around celibate, living relevant. Yeah, it's the most benevolent king. Communicate to your spirit. That's impossible. Yeah, my bad. Wu-Tang Forever.
All right. That's what's up. So we are gonna move on to the features. I think we have one feature today. Today's music feature is gonna be none other than the Mighty Hebrew.
Hey.
That's right. Let's see. We've got a song here called "We Under a Curse." Get that set up here right now. Okay, we got a square graphic. Give me a second. See, YouTube be having different shapes.
Yeah, they're honing in on that short form content now.
Yeah, if
and
you
whatever you're using for those clips, I love them. Keep on coming. It's like a whole another snapshot story that you're filtering in right now. It's amazing, amazing sound bites.
Amazing.
It makes you want to go watch the entire thing, and that's really the appeal for short form content. To have something in your face, easily digestible. You know, you're doing an amazing job of selecting these clips.
Oh, thank you. I realized now you were talking about those clips I put out.
Yeah, because I was, relating it to this short form thing that YouTube is championing now. They're pushing short form because all of the other platforms that are out there, they have that short form content option.
Yeah.
From Snapchat to TikTok to Instagram, Facebook, everybody has this short form. So many of the content creators over here on YouTube there.
Yeah.
That short form.
I put out some clips with Menkempera, a couple from the week before last week's show, and then I had to go straight to the David Icke show because that was such a huge show and everything. So there's gonna be a lot more clips going out. I don't want to overdo it, but I don't want to underdo it either. But there's a lot of cool clips that we can get. There's so much content to go back just with Tahuti alone. Because we do have a couple shorts from Tahuti, and it's crazy because some of them will get
the Podcraft anniversary. Like when?
Oh, see,
what's the date?
I'll have to look that up.
Date or dates or whatever it is. Yeah, just something. We go back, be commemorative, and
you're right. It's in 2019, but I'll get the exact date. But we can actually just look back at the day that we put out the first episode, which was when Priest was talking about the acronym of fear.
Yeah, false expectations, real, yeah.
So if we look at the acronyms of fear, that was the first episode technically, and it wasn't live. It was just a recorded thing I had done with a GoPro. I was using recording mics, condenser mics, and like a couple cameras and stuff like that, and it was funny. But once we started going live, that's when it started getting more fun. And I liked it because there was less editing. So, okay, let's do it. Here we go. From the album War Cloud, The Mighty Hebrew. The song is called We Under a Curse.
Welcome to the jungle. No Philly bread. Rest in peace, Sexo. From OK Corral. It's like this. Onion Park style. My peeps in county jails, waiting on court dates. Life is with endless years upstate. Ready to release the spirit back to the black hole. Suicidal vacated notes on toilet paper. Eyes stone slash cold. Back in close hole. Made the wrong move. Tables turn. I wish I could hear the prophetic words from my ears with wisdom the days of old. Before their minds got fried from smoking coke. Too much crying, my dome hurts. Vision burns, left swollen. Back body broke. Watching block workers fraternize with cops. Telling jokes as the coke. A young nation with false hope. Washing our image where heritage soap. Some dudes you thought were your folks left you hanging. For rare vultures to roast your soul. Your baby mind's missing your cause. You out of control on meds to avoid the pain that's hurting. Losing focus for the omen. Doing what you do as the Romans. Listening to Christian inmates drop sermons. Trying to stay sucker free from Hermes and Pee-wees like a hermit. Phone time. Some play Frogger. Die like Kermit. Some even get their wigs split. Doing too more. Make us a lot like Abdullah Ibn Muhammad. Soup seasoning packs got blood. Rushing like a comet. Israelite vegans forced to eat meat. Ready to vomit. Trying to stay God conscious from the nonsense. So not to lose sense of five senses. But deadly venoms start entering the psyche. At night you hear the chisel with shanks on the ground getting strength. Infected our scars. Trying to feel thick and boss. Doing shakedowns. Playing James Bond. Looking around for contraband like he's Taliban. Bell so high I can't even make bond. 100,000 and thoughts reach beyond 8 Mile like sound. 17 certified. 10 to 24, 4 pound. Stressing. You lost 10 pounds. Crying to your Hawa. They let you out the beast's mouth for years. Go and tell pro watching like SWAT. They catch the Brian Fox getting shot. Dropped out, caged in the box. Original man in rage. Original man in rage. Bloodstained Philly street pavement. Winkles got young bulls chest gaped in the F acting like gay men for Cali trays. 2 cookies, Bernard juices. Old heads shake their heads in shame. Losing the lane for the worst. We under a curse. Times is changing. We under a curse for the worst. We under a curse. Times is changing. We under a curse for the worst. We under a curse. Squatting in cell 3 male sleeping in boats. Trying to get your detainer lift. Your mind floats. Next door, young bull fighting. One get poked for tobacco. Others hold on. The radicals like lassos. Beat magic. Lord up the fountain. Hear silence. Dead lambs slaughtered by inbreds. Scared. Medium rare. Lions tear for air. Vagabonds lay waist deep in lands. Non-living. Filters for a fake image. Sounds of hissing from a Judas kiss. Google is in the midst. Watch friends. Always bitch turn snitch. Times is changing. We under a curse for the worst. We under a curse. Times is changing. We under a curse for the worst. We under a curse. 2023 and beyond. The mighty heat for the deck.
Tanzania, East Africa. Plus 255 with the 215 and the 267.
That's fire. I love it, man. I'm a fan. That's cool. I like the energy. It's rugged. You know what I'm saying? I like the whole album. What you think?
Yeah, that's battle tested, man. It's a vivid visual. You know, I almost said I wanted to see a video, but you heard a video. You heard a video. It's young black men locked down, and the horrors and the hell from their mind. Striving to remain righteous in this environment where it's savage like. You see what I'm saying? Savage like. So, it's something that jolts you from your space of innocence. You might have been a kid doing something to show off for your friends or for some girl or something like that, and you get cased up, and you're in a cage now with enemies. You understand what I'm saying? So, in the midst of that savagery, there's people striving for righteousness. So that dichotomy of what it is. So even his delivery is raw, but he got a righteous message. You see what I'm saying? He's painting a picture like, look, you don't want to be here. You see what I'm saying? From personal experience, you don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? So like, he gives us that vivid picture that you can see in your mind's eye, and he always provides some context in regards to what it is. He's like, vegan Israelites forced to eat meat. You know what I'm saying? Like they force feeding you. You don't have no choice in that environment. You see what I'm saying? Like, a brother praying to God and get killed while he's praying. These are vivid scenes that are going on. It sounds like it's an imagination, but it's real life.
Yeah.
He's saying real life. So
very descriptive.
Yeah, I appreciate him. Yeah, very, very descriptive writing in regards to it. And that delivery, he grabbed you up. Like I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? Like true to War Cloud, man. True to War Cloud. So salute to Mighty Hebrew, man, for this vivid tale right here.
That's what's up. All right, thanks to everybody who submitted those song promotions, submissions. That was cool. Shout out to Mighty Hebrew for that dope track. You've got we got Priest coming back next week with the new setup that we have here. Can't wait to show y'all. And you've got the on Wednesday, the Wind Down Wednesday, featuring Knowledge Born Allah.
Yeah, and we're looking to scale that a little bit and add some ideas in there. One of the ideas we were throwing around was, putting up the producer of the month and the MC of the month, to have them come in on the wind down, because I know y'all the schedule's packed over here, so kind of trying to slide somebody in over there doing that. And we had some great guests on the wind down so far.
Nice.
One of these days, AD, when you ain't ADing somewhere else in the world, man, we gotta get you on the wind down, man.
Oh yeah, no. Now that I got this new, because I've been doing so much transitional stuff. Now that I got this new setup here, I got like a real office happening. Instead of before, it was just like I'm looking at these huge screens, and I put myself in a place where it was just kind of awkward. You know what I mean? It looked cool, but as sitting in this chair, it was way too much of an awkward setup. Now with this setup, it's a lot more eye level, and I think I'm way more productive. So I'm digging it. So yeah, I'll be able to do. I'll be able to pop in. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely would love to have you.
Yeah,
if we could get the contact from those people, if anybody knows those guys from Staten Island, definitely would love to have them on. They made an imprint.
Oh yeah, they did. Mr. Misk and Chromiatos.
Yeah, we could get a hold of them somehow.
Yeah, for sure.
Anybody knows them, send me their info and see if we could get them over there on the wind down.
There you go.
My last thoughts was thank you, AD, for another phenomenal and excellent Podcraft episode. Honest to our humble brother Crumb, the master student, for a phenomenal presentation, dope submissions, and glad to be here to be a part of the craft. Like I said, this is my addictive righteous pleasure, and ain't guilty. Righteous pleasure over here, being able to assist with one of the greatest minds in hip hop, Killah Priest, and to the family, play more, Killah.
Absolutely. Well said. It's all getting better and better. Thanks to everybody who's watching in the chat room. Everyone who always shows up, SL Smith, Ben Frank, all of y'all. I have a whole separate monitor so the priest can see all the comments, like clearly on just a monitor. It's like dedicated just to the comment section, just to the chat room. He'll be able to sit here and see everything nice and clear. It's gonna be so cool, man. But yeah, tune in next week for the new setup. Y'all gonna love it. That's what's up. All right.
Say one more thing real quick.
Go ahead.
We want to have also a Podcraft chat room night. You know what I mean? Where you get the feedback from the Podcraft live on the space. Somebody, they could hop on the StreamYard and say what they got to say.
Oh, okay. So people were like, you're gonna have like a whole all the boxes popping up. You talking about like a Zoom meeting or like a StreamYard?
Like StreamYard, yeah. People popping up saying what they got to say, adding their input, things they want to see. Yes, they might want to see. So, you can have that data as well to kind of, steer it and see how you could put it into the program.
You're gonna have to screen them. Otherwise, you're gonna get some trolls popping in. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
If you give out if you give the link out and people start joining, you're gonna get some trolls. It just happens. It just happens. But yeah.
Yeah, I got about 8 years, 10 years broadcasting, but 7-8 years messing around with this, StreamYard situation and screening people online. So, they could try it. Good luck.
We got to do it how Kevin Samuels did it. Kevin Samuels did it right. He wouldn't put you on screen until you showed your camera. He wouldn't let you so he would screen you right there on the show. Remember Kevin Samuels?
Yeah.
He did it right. I like that. He would be like, you don't have to show your screen, otherwise I'm not putting you on. Do you know what I mean? And then they would show the screen.
I know who some of the people are.
Okay.
Mostly from the chat room. So it would be those people. It wouldn't just be anybody, on there.
Got you.
Yeah. But that's a great point of order for anybody who has a podcast of that magnitude. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to screen. You don't want. They're already trolling in the chat room, so you can't be doing both. You can't be on the screen trolling and in the chat room.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, block party.
For the loyalists, yeah. For the loyalists, come through and share your thoughts.
That's what's up. Call it the Killah Priest Cookout.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, sir. Okay, so we're gonna end the show with King of Tyre. And we'll see you guys when we see you. Thanks again, Knowledge Born.
My love. Peace.
Peace.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? On their knees crawling, the beast awakened, the teaching of Satan, the meeting of pagans, speaking Phoenician and Canaan. The secret of sayings sits in his seat as the priest of the ages, amongst his holy men. 2 Thessalonians, heavens was his podium, was he Elijah, also known as the Messiah. From his throne he required to talk about the stones of fire, the king of Tyre, who fell because of his own desire. From the kingdom, a winged empire, for the things he admired, the Babylonian, the golden calf holding gems, with the staff of an aspen, the men old as him, they would stay high off hemp and opium, and when day rise, God's strength was taken from them. The king of Tyre, the king of Tyre, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyre, and say unto him, thus saith the Lord God, thou sealest up the sum, and full of wisdom, and perfect in beauty. The serpent amongst the two trees, and afterwards Adam knew Eve, that she conceived one of your seed. Then the bronze serpent with two thieves in between. Could you break down these mysteries? Elohim's hidden keys to the bottomless pit, only seen in dreams. These are things that archaeologists miss. They only acknowledged the bricks, but couldn't follow the scripts. Was it different writers? Ezekiel 28 verse 2, the prince of Tyrus. One river flowed out of Eden till four was divided. Was it the Nile, Jordan, Euphrates, and Tigris? With one language, one reigning, nations united. Men are old, renowned, races of giants. The king of Tyre came down to make an alliance. With his firestone breastplate, had the body of a bull and the head of a snake. Each seven was red and great. The third world war took shape. Gave power to the beast, devoured peace, swallowed the sheep. Made followers teach and spread hate. Checkmate, death rate, escalate. Son of perdition, met his fate. Heaven's gate, truth to tell. Daniel and Zerubbabel. The prophecy scattered Judah and Israel. King of Tyre,